Cool.
Bienvenidos, aloha. Welcome in to Newport Harbor Sailors Water Polo. We join this game 90 seconds in progress with the Sailors leading 1-0 over Corona Del Mar in the Battle of the Bay. Alex Crawford and the national champion Andy Hayes with you here at the Bill Barnett pool deck. Sailors lead 1-0. Andy, how did we get here? What happened thus far?
Well, we just recently had a goal scored by Ben Lathy off of the three-post, so that's what got us one goal, and we're going from there, Alex.
All right. Ben Lathy, the sophomore on the national team, best player in the country at his age, with the lone goal for the Sailors. 5 minutes to go here in the opening period. A shot and
Beautiful.
A goal.
Eli Lathy from number 4 to Peter Clark on the two-post. Beautiful
Peter
play,
Clark.
6-on-5. Second goal in the 6-on-5 advantage, Alex.
Newport taking advantage of those power plays. Up 2-0 early here at the deck. That gives us a second, Andy, to catch our breath, catch up, and let our listeners and our viewers know here. This is our first TarTV water polo live stream. Now, we did Tar Radio. We had a lot of radio broadcasts of water polo, but we haven't had a chance to do it on the live stream. So with the limited attendance here, with COVID, with this being the first game of the season, we're very appreciative of all our viewers tuning in here on this broadcast. And what a treat to have the opening game of the season be the Battle of the Bay.
I can't ask for a better season opener here, Alex. This is incredible. Always love a rivalry game.
Well, tell me a little bit, Andy, about when you were here in the pool deck in the Speedo for the Newport Harbor Sailors. How much did this game mean to beat the crosstown, the Cross Bay rival?
Hey, you know what? I think this is really the only game that matters, Alex, right? As long as you beat your crosstown rival, yeah, it's just everything. You get so fired up. You share the back bay. It's always nice to take ownership from season to season.
It's a great start for the Sailors. Up 2-0 here in the first 2 minutes of the game. They haven't lost to CDM in 3 years, coinciding with Harbor's 3 league championships. So just 3 years of complete domination of the program across the bay. You know Coach Ross Sinclair wants to keep that pedal to the metal, foot on the gas, foot on the throat of the Sea Kings.
Yeah, absolutely. That was an incredible stat. I did not know that one. Wow, yes, and definitely Coach Ross has known about that one. So
Give us a chance here to let you know who's in the pool for the Sailors and who's going to be getting playing time here tonight. Right now, I believe that's Cooper Mathisrud in the cage. I know Coach Sinclair said that we'll see all 3 goalkeepers rotating in today. They all wear cap number 1, so that can always be a little bit confusing for us as broadcasters as CDM has possession here. First 2 minutes of this opening period.
Oh, yeah, CDM's working for the post-up number 4 against number 2 on Newport here. Peter Clark did not work out. Obviously, great defense by the Sailors.
CDM trying to get it into Dylan Ham, or now Andrew Bertoia. Final 2 minutes of the shot clock, and Harbor's defense snuffs that one out. Change of possession. Sailors back on the counterattack.
Yeah, that's a great defense. Ooh, an exclusion here.
So
number
another
5.
power play for Newport Harbor. They scored on their previous 2 6-on-5 possessions. Their third possession here.
Watch them look for the post, Alex. That's what got them 2 goals already, so I bet you they're going to work for it again.
Up top, into the post, shot and a
There we
goal.
go.
3 power plays, 3 goals for the Sailors. Again, Ben Lathy, his second, working on the hat trick here early in the game. 4 minutes to go, and the Sailors are up 3-0. As I mentioned, all 3 of those goals coming on 6-on-5 opportunities for the Sailors. So taking advantage of the exclusions against the Sea Kings.
Absolutely. You got to make them pay if they make a mistake like that.
CDM back on attack. And Andy, it's been a minute here since I did a water polo game. I got to remember the layout of the pool.
Your little drawings that you have.
Oh, you drew it.
Man.
You drew
happy,
it.
Happy
It's
to.
a roadmap for me, a water polo novice, to try to figure out what's going on in the pool. As Cameron Simoncelli had it at the 6th spot, turns it over, and here come the Sailors.
Oh, yeah, classic maneuver on the transition right there by number 11 on Newport. Billy Rankin getting the exclusion in transition.
So another power play opportunity for the Sailors. They scored their previous 3 times on the power play. Let's see what they do here.
You hear Coach saying one pocket. Ooh, inside of 2. There we go. First one of 2021 for us, Alex.
And explain what that is to our viewers. What is the inside of 2?
Think of it like offside in soccer or an icing in hockey. You can't be inside of the 2-meter line without the ball.
CDM with their best opportunity. Get it down in the... That is...
Wow, that was quick. I didn't even see what happened.
Bean?
Yeah.
Altschler.
No, negative. I believe that is Alexander. I cannot
Well, they
pronounce
call
his
him Bean. That's his nickname. His nickname is Bean.
Oh, that is Bean. That is Bean. Excellent. What a junior guard legend.
Oh, yeah?
My bad. Yeah, I can see. Got to get my contacts fixed, I guess.
Harbor. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Back on attack. Feeding it down into the 2-meter player. And the Sea Kings smother that one.
Yeah, that was a good crash by CDM. Way to read that pass into 2 meters. Can't telegraph it, Alex.
Nathaniel Evans trying to bring it up. Cross pool for the Sea Kings. And it's Finn.
Oh, that's Gus Oding.
Oh, that's Gus Oding?
On Newport, yeah.
Well, him and Finn both wear the same cap number, so.
Oh, no.
That's going to be confusing here.
Yeah.
Here
yes,
comes.
it will. I'll help you out.
CDM shot clock violation.
Oh, gosh. Alex, remember me telling you about offensives?
Oh, here we go. Shot and a save.
Oh, that was good. Nice job, Bean. Oh, that isn't. I can guarantee you that's not Bean.
Okay. Well, who's in the goal for the Sailors, Andy?
Alexander Oschuler.
No, that's Bean Altschuler.
Oh, is it Cooper? My mistake. Okay, Cooper.
We're going to get some clarification on this.
Guarantee you.
Sinclair.
We'll make it bet.
Well, you know, a funny thing about water polo is a lot of times players, especially the goalies, will all wear the same cap number. Skip shot in. This time CDM able to connect. Zach Kittleson with the goal for the Sea Kings.
Oh, funny. I got a couple coworkers in the pool right now. A couple Newport guys and water polo, or CDM guys are Newport Beach lifeguards.
Oh, so when you say coworkers, where do you work, Andy?
Oh, well, I'm part of the year-round staff for the Newport Beach lifeguard department. So we got a lot of seasonals all started there, and a couple of them are in the water right now.
That water polo to lifeguard pipeline is very strong.
It sure is. It sure is.
Harbor back on attack. 90 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Sailors lead 3-1. Try to feed it down to the 2-meter player. A scrum for the ball.
All right. 5-meter penalty foul drawn by Eli Lathy.
So Eli Lathy going to get the penalty shot here.
Yeah, another first for 2021.
Lathy, UCLA-bound senior.
Oh, he told me he was going there when he was a freshman.
Mason Hunt will take the penalty shot, and he skips it past the goal, wide left. 91 seconds to go here. Sailors lead 3-1. CDM back on attack. Harbor trying to keep their 3-year winning streak against Corona Del Mar alive.
Okay, drive from 5 over there. Cross pass to 1.
They get it into the 1 spot. Quick shot. Off the cage and out.
Okay, watch this transition. That's where a lot of ejections happen. Quick plays. Here we go.
Ben Lathy up top to Peter Clark. Pump fakes, thinks about it, shot. Nice save by the CDM goalkeeper.
Yeah, both of them good legs, both staying high for a long time.
Final minute of the first period. Harbor leads 3-1. Great defense there by Ben Lathy. He's got 2 goals, but he's a two-way player out here in the pool.
Oh, yeah, dude. He is all water polo. He is solid as they come.
He's all up in the grill. And the shot clock ticks all the way down to 3 for CDM. And what do they call that, Andy, when the goalkeeper just has to throw it away and you lose the whole shot clock? What's the water polo term for that? Is there one?
Oh, it is. Yeah, absolutely. It's called dumping the ball.
Dumping the ball. Well,
oh, yeah.
We see our first ball dump of the game here. Final 20 seconds. Harbor's got it inside. And CDM's goalkeeper, right place, right time, able to prevent some serious damage.
Yeah, I think Coach Ross might have a different shot selection for Mr. Lathy with that one after how he reacted. But, you know, they're getting back to it.
18 seconds.
I don't know what happened. Offensive.
It's a turnover, and CDM will have the ball on attack. Shot clock is off. Final 10 seconds here of the first period. Final 5 seconds. CDM not able to cross the pool. Long shot.
There we go. Let's see the Hail Mary.
Eamon Hennessy tests the rocket launcher. Too strong. The horn sounds, and that does it for one. Action-packed first quarter. 4 total goals. 3 of them coming from the Sailors. They lead 3-1 at the end of one, trying to keep their 3-game win streak alive. When we come back, after this brief 2-minute break, we will have second quarter action from the Battle of the Bay live at the Bill Barnett Pool Deck. Opening game of the season for the Sailors and the Sea Kings. Both 0-0 on the season, trying to get above 500 and trying to have some bragging rights. We'll be right back. Alex Crawford, Andy Hayes with you here. You are watching Newport Harbor Water Polo on TarTV. Welcome back into Newport Harbor Sailors Water Polo. Alex Crawford, Andy Hayes with you here, the national champion, the coach, the veteran of the game, the veteran of the pool.
You can talk about
king.
me.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Oh, my goodness. Sorry, those are such
Andy,
high praise. Alex, that's too sweet of you.
How many
You're
times
too
did you
kind.
guys beat Corona Del Mar when you were here at Newport Harbor High School? Was it dominant or was it pretty back and forth? Because right now it's dominant for the Newport Harbor High School boys. 3 years in a row haven't lost to CDM. But when we get to the girls' game later on at 8 p.m., stick around for that one, by the way, here on TarTV. CDM girls dominated the Sailors until last season, and now Harbor won every matchup last season. So, you know,
beautiful.
It's not always as dominant as we might make it out to seem on this TarTV broadcast. But how was it when you were here? How were those Battle of the Bay games?
You know what? I would say they were getting pretty close, 50-50. We had some really solid competition over the years. There was one season, I think it was 07 actually, where it seemed like we played CDM in all 3 of our tournaments that we were in. We just could not get away from them. So definitely a lot of battles over the years. I wish I had this crew's record over the Sea Kings.
It's got to feel good.
Yeah.
You know Coach Sinclair.
Oh, it's working, Coach.
It's working, Coach. We're live.
We're live.
Live stream is live. You're live on TarTV.
That's right.
You know, I don't know with COVID restrictions and regulations last year, Andy, as we get the second quarter ball drop underway here, we had the opportunity, Andy, to have some awesome post-game interviews last year on Tar Radio. With COVID, I don't know if they're going to send the kids over to talk to us, but I brought the third mic just in case.
Okay, awesome. You know what? We'll see. Like, everybody wears a mask if we have to, right? Just
I'll mask
the
up.
interview.
I'll mask
Absolutely. Whatever needs to get it done.
Second quarter underway. Harbor leading 3-1. 7 minutes on the clock, and here come the Sailors working it on the attack, trying to get it into the 2-meter player.
Yeah, so what happened right there, Eli Lethe wasn't set for the ball. He was holding his defender before he got the pass, so that's a turnover right there.
It's an offensive foul, right?
Yes, sir. You got it. Wow, look at that. It's like riding a bike, Alex.
There we go. We're getting back on, trying to remember water polo as CDM works it up top to the point position. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Working it around here on the one spot. Foul on the Sailors. CDM will retain possession. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Back up to the point position. Great defense by the Sailors. Trying to get into the 2-meter, man. Nothing doing. Sailors smother it out, and Peter Clark comes away with it.
All right, here we go. So Eli Lathy just drew an ejection in the front court. First line counterattack. So we got a 6-on-5 in Newport Harbor's advantage.
6-on-5 for the Sailors. They've scored 3 times on a 6-on-5 in the first quarter. Let's see what they do here.
It's always nice having one less defender. You know, it just makes offense a little bit easier.
Up top at the point position. Shot and a goal.
Okay. That might have been a brother-to-brother. Yeah, oh my goodness.
Was that a brother-to-brother connection?
That was
Ben Lathy with the goal. Pass from Eli Lathy. And, by the way,
flip-flop that. Eli Lathy is the one with the goal.
Oh, well, that's good
Ben
for Eli
pass.
to get on the board because Ben has 2 goals. Now
Oh.
Eli's got 1.
Little
His
brother.
first of the game, and Sailors lead 4-1. 5:40 to go here in the second quarter.
Alex, another offense by CDM and a counterattack by us Sailors.
All right,
those Sailors.
Harbor on the counterattack.
Yeah, let's see. Setting up. Going to set up the front court. No advantage or ejection yet for the Sailors.
Peter Clark had it at the point position. Gets it down to the 5 spot. Ends up in the hands of the CDM goalkeeper. And with 5 minutes to go, Corona Del Mar looking to add to their lead. Down by 3 here. Harbor and, you know, Ross Sinclair and his team, they want to keep their foot on the gas. They don't want to let up as they get it in to their 2-meter player. Backhand shot in. An absolutely beautiful goal there by Dylan Ham for the Sea Kings. Their second of the night. 4-2 your score. 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
You know what, Alex? If any Sea Kings is going to score a goal, I'll let it be Dylan Ham. He was a junior lifeguard of mine, co-worker now, great guy. That was exciting. Unfortunately, it was a goal against us, but a well played out possession by the Sea Kings. Got to give him credit.
Cooper Mathisrud in the cage for the Sailors as Harbor here on the attack after the Dylan Ham goal for the Sea Kings. 5 minutes, just under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
We got Richie Rimlinger. All right.
Exclusion against the Sea Kings. Another 6-on-5 opportunity. Back up top to number 11 for the Sailors, Billy Rankin. Shot and a goal. CDM scored, and Billy Rankin went down and answered for the Sailors. His first of the night for the junior. Harbor up 5-2, 4:34 to go here in the second quarter.
Do you know what, Alex? That was great. Pete Castillo, the brother of Nate Castillo, not a classmate, but a year above us, to Billy Rankin. This is just a lineage of Newport Harbor water polo that just made that goal happen. You love to see it.
Absolutely. Not our grade, but our era. Our era of the Sailors. Andy and I, class of 09. It's a great time. The last time Sailors won CIF for boys, 2007. You've got your ring on tonight.
I do. I always like to accessorize when I can, so I felt like this was a night to do so.
If there was a night to wear your CIF championship ring, it would be at the pool, at the Bill Barnett pool deck for Battle of the Bay.
All right, that's our first exclusion. Number 9, Finn Leisure.
And a timeout from head coach Kareem Kaptan for CDM Water Polo. We'll keep it right here. 4:05 to go in the second quarter, and Harbor leads 5-2. Now, Andy, if you're head coach Ross Sinclair, what are you telling the team during this timeout? What do you go? Because you're up 5-2. You're really controlling this game. What are you playing for? You know, there's no CIF this season. It's a short year. So what's going on here in this timeout?
I mean, he's telling him you got to keep your foot on the gas, just like you said earlier, but continue with that good defense. I know he doesn't like that second goal that the Sea Kings got on us. At least we're producing on offense, so I think that's what he's telling him. We've had success in the transition, getting ejections or advantages with the man up. So he's going to tell him to continue that, and when we get our man ups, take the time, use the whole clock, all 20 seconds, and really pick that shot. Because on 6-on-5, everybody's open, Alex. You got to choose the right one, best for the team. So if I was betting man, I think that's what Ross said, or somewhat close.
Well, we appreciate everyone joining us here on TarTV. Alex Crawford, Andy Hayes here with you, live from the Battle of the Bay. I'm actually on
what are you doing
phone.
over there?
I'm sending the link. I sent the wrong link, Andy, to your dad.
Oh, no.
Laird Hayes, local legend.
Oh, he's chomping at the bit to get eyes on this game.
I sent him an old lacrosse game. We have those on TarTV as well.
I think I sent that to everybody I know as well.
Well, I don't know what happened in the mix-up there,
All
but
10 of them. Yeah.
I recommend, if you want to watch future TarTV broadcasts, if you're watching now, you got to go to the Newport Harbor website. Bookmark that page, and on game day, broadcasts will be live. nhhs.nmusd.us, nhhs.nmusd.us. Tune in there. Bookmark that page. After the timeout, 15 seconds on the shot clock, trying to get up to the point position are the Sea Kings, and smothering defense once again by Ben Lathy.
So we were down a man. That was the first exclusion. Newport Harbor's coming even now.
5 seconds to go on the shot clock. CDM trying to get a shot off. They do right before the shot. It doesn't even make it to the goalkeeper, Mathisrud. As I think it was Ben Lathy who got a forearm on it. Great defense by Harbor. And Ross Sinclair going to take a timeout. Strategizing himself now after the timeout by the Sea Kings.
Yeah, so he's calling a 30-second. So they have a play that they've been practicing. They're going to run this right now. So this will be fun to watch.
2 30-second timeouts, one 1-minute timeout per game, correct?
Correct. I got to make sure about the 2:30s. Do you know that for sure?
I learned that from you. So.
Oh, I think I said two 1 minute.
Okay, 2 1 minutes, 1:30.
Doesn't matter. 3 timeouts for the whole game. Not like basketball where you get.
Yeah, it doesn't reset at half. There's no halftime. There's just breaks between quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, Andy, is probably useful for some of our viewers who are not as familiar with the game of water polo as a savant like yourself.
Yeah, well.
The Rain Man of water polo, they called you at the pool at USC, I heard.
Oh, is that so? Let's see. I need to get the name of who you talked to. But, yeah, no, it's a lot like basketball. I don't know too much about that, but I do know water polo, and they are similar.
Up top to Lathy. Pump fake now on the near side of the pool. Back up top to Lathy. Shot clock's at 10. Sailors lead by 3. Shot by Lathy. Blocked by CDM. I wouldn't want to block that rocket of a shot from Ben Lathy, the sophomore. The best sophomore in the country in the game of water polo, according to some.
I believe it. He's an incredible player. That whole family's good. Actually saw his older brother, Jake Lathy, in the water today.
Well, his other older brother, Eli Lathy, is in the pool with him right now.
Yeah.
Wearing cap number 18 for the Sailors. Exclusion against Harbor. So CDM with the 6-on-5 opportunity. Ethan Chow has it at the point position. Swims in, shot. Out of bounds. It'll go back possession to Newport Harbor. Just under 3 minutes to go here in the second period. Sailors lead by 3 in this opening game of the season, which just so happens to be the Battle of the Bay.
God, that never gets old hearing that, Alex. But just for some of us, if we forget, if it's a field block, the ball is a turnover. But if the goalie blocked it out of bounds, that would have stayed CDM's ball. So
Ben Lathy at the point position, swims in with the ball. Now dumps it off to Mason Hunt. Whistle dead. Exclusion against Harbor. Inside to the 2-meter man. Nice look there. Saved by CDM, but I like that play.
Yeah. You know what? I like the idea of it, Alex. I don't know if I'd encourage that one again. Take your time. You got 20 seconds. Use it all.
20 seconds on the shot clock there. Now it's at 24 CDM. Change of possession as Nathaniel Evans swims to the middle of the pool with the ball, and the Sailors turn up the heat on defense. Trying to get it down on the far side of the pool. We're going to see a shot, and it gets past Mathisrud into the goal for CDM. Just past the outstretched arms of the Newport Harbor goalkeeper, the sophomore Cooper Mathisrud. Goal Sea Kings, 1:58 to go here in the second quarter, and CDM leads 5-3.
That's a tough shot. The righty from the 6th position, or 5, not a great angle. That was a well-done shot. But here we go. See, I know Coach isn't happy with that 3 goals.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Coach Sinclair, as much as he likes scoring, and he scored quite a bit during his years at UCSB, he's a defensive-minded coach first and foremost.
Absolutely.
Well, he knows defense wins championships.
That's right. He lives it.
And here comes Harbor back on the attack. Gage Vertigal had it. Now over to Hunt, down inside of the 2-meter man, and before the shot, it's whistled dead.
No. So that was an exclusion. Coach Ross felt that the ref should have allowed him to finish that play and get the goal. So we don't score the goal, but we get a man-up advantage.
So 6-on-5. Goal will not count, but a 6-on-5 advantage for the Sailors.
Yes.
Multiple goals for Harbor today coming on the power play as Hunt swims in with it. Now on the far side of the pool. Back to Hunt. Pump fakes. Now a shot. Wide right of the goal. Under 90 seconds to go. CDM back on the attack. Down by 2. 5-3 your score in favor of the Sailors here at home in the Battle of the Bay. And the capless CDM swimmer throws a pass to the far corner.
Yeah, definitely where the defense isn't going to get that. I was close to the lane line.
Trying to get it back up to the point position. Now a dash for the ball. Ben Lathy, too fast of a swimmer.
At that, 2-on-1. Let's see.
Any Sea King.
Beautiful pass.
Feeds it ahead to Gage Vertigal. One-on-one with the goal, and he's mauled.
There it is.
And that's going to be a penalty shot.
Yes.
That's going to be a penalty shot for the Sailors. Vertigal, one-on-one with the goalie. I know that CDM goalie was scared for dear life down there.
Yeah, no, Gage is solid, but that goalie gets pretty big when you're about inches away. So, I mean, excellent steal by, who is that? Lathy, Ben Lathy, and then.
Oh, that's Ben Lathy.
Yeah, and a beautiful pass put Gage right in the perfect spot to earn that penalty shot. So, that was awesome. Good 2 versus 1 counterattack.
So, Gage Vertigal on the national team, the junior, will take the penalty shot for the Sailors. 59 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Harbor up by 2, 5-3 your score.
So something an old coach of mine said that during this dead time right now, this is a time to have a free timeout. Take, catch your breath, listen to what the coach has to say, and then get back in.
Gage Vertigal with the penalty shot. Skips it to the left of the goalie and in. Left side of the post. 5-3 becomes 6-3 for the Sailors. Vertigal getting his first goal of the evening. The junior puts Harbor doubling up CDM. 6-3. Final 57 seconds here of the second period.
Why does 6-3 sound so much better than 5-3?
More breathing room?
Yeah.
Doubling. Anytime you can double the score, whether it's 8-4, 6-3, you do the math. Keep going.
No, don't put me on the spot like that, Alex.
And smothering defense there by Finn LeSueur for the Sailors. Now CDM has it here at the one spot in front of us. Trying to get into the 2-meter man. They do, and the shot just too high over the top of the cage. And Mathersrud's finger got on it. So possession will be retained by the Sea Kings.
Excellent. Yes, correct, Alex.
Corona Del Mar back up top to the 3. The point position. Now over to the 1. They get it down to the 2. Trying to get it in.
Oh, perfect. That was beautiful defense, Alex. We'll discuss that later if you'd like to.
And picking that pass off like a defensive back is Finn LeSueur. On attack, he's swimming in. Harbor has numbers here if they want it. LeSueur uncorks a shot, misses. Final 5 seconds of the period. Showing some strength, showing some power.
Yeah. That was good to force that thing out to get the ball back. Let's see what we can
Harbor.
do.
4 seconds left in the quarter. Trying to get a shot off, and the horn sounds as Gage Vertigal is mauled by the Sea Kings. Regardless of that, regardless of the missed shot, Harbor still leads 6-3 at the end of 2. We'll take a quick breather here from the pool deck. When we come back, we got 2 quarters of action left. It's the Battle of the Bay, and it's the opening game of the season. Andy, I've been chopping at the bit for water polo for over a year. We've got it back. I'm excited. We're going to catch our breath. We'll come back. Third period action. Harbor leads 6-3 over the Sea Kings in the Battle of the Bay. You're listening. You're watching TarTV. Welcome back to TarTV. Alex Crawford, Andy Hayes with you here between the second and third periods at the Bill Barnett pool deck, chopping it up with your father, local legend, Newport Beach Parks and Rec Commissioner, and retired NFL side judge number 125, Laird Hayes.
Yeah.
Always a figure that you like to see here at the pool deck.
Yeah, he brings a smile to people's faces. You know, he's a funny guy. He's got a lot of good stories. It's always fun to have him around.
Runs in the family.
No.
Runs in the family.
I think I learned it from him.
Andy, let's talk about this game so far.
Yes.
6-3 Harbor leads at the end of 2. They've looked dominant. CDM's shown some flashes. You know Ross Sinclair, head coach, doesn't like that. Doesn't want to let the Sea Kings do anything. But what's been the theme of this game? What stood out to you in this game thus far for the Sailors?
Stifling defense, high in the lanes, denying the pass to 2 meters, running the clock out, leading to a transition where they've earned an ejection or a man-up advantage just through the transition, and that's how they've gotten their 6 goals. Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't,
you actually know the game of water polo. I'm just here. I'm just happy to be at the pool deck.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And so, you know what? So I want you to notice for this second half how many times Newport actually establishes the front court offense. That's something that we didn't really see because everything was happening in transition and led to 6-on-5. So let's see if they, due to the lack of conditioning, if Newport slows it down a little bit.
Well, that's something I actually wanted to bring up. We didn't really get a chance to do a pregame show, but lack of conditioning, potentially an issue. We got the green light for high school sports about a week ago, and all of a sudden, okay, time to get in the pool, time to play full contact water polo. How much of an issue is conditioning, do you think, for these teams?
Oh, man. All of it. That's all of it. I mean, it's just getting laps back and forth, not pushing off the wall. I mean, swimming in a water polo game is a totally different type of swimming than if you're just doing laps. It's definitely conditioning. So these boys will be feeling it. They'll definitely be feeling it down the stretch if they're not already.
Ball drop for the third period underway, and it ends up in the hands of the sophomore with 2 goals, Ben Lathy. Harbor on the attack, up 6-3 here in the third period. Peter Clark with it up top of the point, trying to get it down to the 2-meter man. A scrub for the ball, and Harbor scores. Coming up from underwater.
That was a great pass from Peter Clark, drawing that defender away from the 2-meter. Offensive player working around, wrapping around, dropping that ball into the perfect position to allow Eli to make the finish. Beautiful offensive play.
Eli Lathy like Poseidon coming out from under the water.
Oh, my gosh, what imagery.
Cauldron.
Yeah.
He scores, and he ties things up with his brother, Ben Lathy. They both have 2 goals. Harbor leads 7-3. 4 of those goals coming from the Lathy bros.
Incredible. That's absolutely incredible. I bet you they have a little thing going, if not on the side, about who's going to have the more.
A little side bet, maybe a bonsai bowl being bet on it.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think they would.
Or maybe a Los Primos burrito. Just trying to think of some spots that we used to like back in the day here. Harbor on defense now. CDM on the attack, trying to get a goal. They skip shot right into the chest of Mathisrud. A correction. Thank you, Andy. Bean Altschuler in the game now at goalkeeper. Head coach Ross Sinclair told me they'd rotate goalkeepers here throughout the evening. Both sophomores, both obviously without a chance to really have the goalkeeper competition in the offseason, so they're both going to get minutes here. And Mr. Bean blocks that one with his chest, not to be confused with British comic Mr. Bean.
No, I'm curious about the nickname. We might have to ask him if we ever get a post-game interview.
CDM on the counterattack. Trying to get some offense going here. Shot blocked again by Bean. Gets a paw on it, and Harbor on the counterattack, up by 4. 7-3, under 6 minutes to go here in the third period.
Yeah, here we go. Look at number 2, Peter Clark over here, close to us, number 5 position, trying to draw an exclusion.
So Harbor gets it over to the 4-man, number 7. That's Mason Hunt. Loses his cap. And gets it over to Peter Clark. A nice shot. And it leaks past the goalkeeper in for a goal. That was Ben Lathy saying, "Oh, brother, where art thou?" His brother Eli scored the last goal. And Lathy, with the hat trick now, scores his third of the game. Sailors up 8-3. Harbor pouring it on now here in the third.
That's good. I mean, like we were talking about conditioning earlier, there's something about gameplay conditioning. Obviously, after that play, you know that Newport's really been putting the work as much as they can. I think CDM might be getting a little tired.
Well, you got to assume here in the third period, halfway through the third, you're starting to get winded. You know, you're starting to feel feel the exhaustion of no real off-season and lack of conditioning or stifled conditioning. I remember, Andy, and I want you to comment on this, back in the day when you played here at Newport Harbor, I feel like you guys were in the pool 24/7.
Oh, it felt like that, Alex. You're right.
You know, back in our day, water polo players, you know, most athletes here, you go student-athlete. I felt like the water polo team was athlete-student with the amount of time that you guys spent in the pool.
Yeah, if we're going to do it compared to time spent on something, I bet you our pool time is a little bit longer than our homework time. But, yeah, I mean, that's just something about water polo. You can practice in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. Coaches always find time. So
coaches always love to be at the pool deck. Ross Sinclair, I heard he's got a cot in the office there, and he's been known to spend the night watching film. I don't know if that's true. We'll have to ask him, but that's the rumor around the deck.
You know what? I can believe it after watching this team play right now. That's a lot of game film on CDM one whole year.
And I know Coach Sinclair, this year, obviously, there's no CIF, so this isn't the year to do it, but he wants to get over the hump so badly. Back-to-back trips to CIF finals for this boys team. Back-to-back losses to Harvard-Westlake, the same team. So frustrating, and you know Coach hates to lose in anything, whether it's pickup basketball, shooting a paper at the wastebasket, or his sport water polo. So he wants to get over the hump. This is great practice for these boys as CDM back on the attack, down by 5. Final 5 minutes of the third period.
Oh, they're really dropping off of the
Shot and saved by Altschuler.
Yeah, I'll let you continue to try to say his name. I'm just going to call him Bean.
I'm going to call him Bean, too. Alexander Altschuler, nickname Bean. I'm going to go with Bean. Harbor on the counterattack after the save by Bean. Up by 5, 4:44 to go. They get it over to the 5-man who swims in. Back to the 4. Swimming in. Lathy at the 4. Pump fake shot, goal! Ben Lathy, his 4th goal of the game. Showing off the arm strength there, the best sophomore in the country. And Harbor's up by 6. They don't just double up CDM here. It's a 3 times multiplier. It's actually an exponent.
Get out of town.
That's that Newport Harbor education coming in there, but it's 3 squared. 9-3, your score here. 4:36 to go in the third quarter.
Wow. Yeah, we look at Coach Ross just went for 6 for 6, getting some of the other fellas a little bit of PT here.
So when you say 6 for 6, what is it, 6 guys in, 6 guys out substitutions?
Correct. There's 6 field players plus 1 goalie for a total of 7 on each team, and so he just went the full 6 offensive, all field players out for 6 new ones. Fresh legs, as they say.
Fresh legs. Guys eager to get their sea legs under them here at the Bill Barnett pool deck as smothering defense by Harbor. CDM trying to get something on the counterattack, and the Sailors come up with it. That ended up in the hands of Bean Altschuler, the goalie, who pushes things ahead. Sailors on the counterattack. Bunch of new guys in the pool for Newport Harbor. Would like to get their first looks at getting some numbers in the box score there. They feed it down into the 2-meter player. A scrum for the ball and a turnover. Yeah, I mean, that would have been a good move by Pete Castillo. He just had his head underwater. Not really going to get an offensive call on that one. CDM back on the counterattack. Yeah, so Newport's been running a 4-5 drop this whole time, trying to bury the ball at the righty at position 5. Shot by CDM. Foul goes against Harbor. Pete Castillo called on the foul. Is that going to be a penalty shot, Andy, or is that? No, that was just a shot block or a goalie block by Bean there, out of bounds. Just a new shot clock for CDM. So new shot clock for CDM. 3:30 to go here in the third. Sea Kings trail by 6. Harbor up 9-3 in this Battle of the Bay opening game of the season. Look at that. And right in the hands of Pete Castillo, CDM turns it over, and here comes Castillo. 2-on-1 for the Sailors. Castillo now 1-on-1 with the CDM goalkeeper. Uncorks the shot, and it's a goal. Right over the CDM goalkeeper's head. Pete Castillo gets on the board, and Harbor's in double digits. 10-3 your score, 3:13 to go in the third. For any of my Sailor graduates that I played with, we all know that is a drill that you run for hours, practicing those 3-on-2 to 2-on-1 to 1-on-nobody advantages. Pete Castillo nailed that. He does not take those drills lightly. Peter Clark checking back in the game for the Sailors as Richie Rimlinger and Pete Castillo check out. 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Harbor dominating, 10-3 your score. And that's Cole Borgreave on defense for the Sailors, just smothering not letting CDM do anything and almost forcing a turnover.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome by Cole for sure. But if we watch Peter Clark, he's just been pushing out. And now we got number 12 over there, Eric Dewson. Ooh. All right, who's that? Tommy Richardson. Nope.
Is that an exclusion?
Gus Oding. Yeah. Yeah, Gus Oding.
So explain to me what just happened.
So the CDM driver at position 4 was guarded by Gus. He was able to get Gus while he was out of position, and Gus got on the driver's back, grabbed him, slowed him down, impeding movement, so the official easy call.
So we've got an exclusion.
An exclusion, man-up advantage for CDM.
CDM's going to have 6 on 5, down by 7. 10-3 your score here at the pool deck for our opening game of the season, which happens to be the Battle of the Bay. We've got the boys here, 6 o'clock ball drop for that one, and then at 8 o'clock we're going to have the girls' game here live for you as well. What a treat, a doubleheader.
Oh, my goodness. When you told me that we were doing that, Alex, I just got so fired up. I've been looking forward to this for a while.
Well, this is my first boys water polo game.
Oh, that's right.
Ever. I mean, not just for the Sailors, ever, because we only did girls last year.
That's
We
right.
got to go all the way to the CIF semifinals, that tough loss to Laguna 9-7.
Yes.
But this is my first time out on the deck with you doing a boys game.
Oh, awesome.
So this is exciting stuff.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you're excited. So am I. I mean, it's fun to watch the team that I played for, right? But it's always good to watch Sailors play water polo whenever you can. So
Anytime. I mean, there's not much better polo being played anywhere, really.
no, you're completely
Well,
right
what
with
else
that.
would I want to watch? Where would I want to go watch?
Oh, I mean, maybe go watch some SC Trojan water polo. I mean, that is my alma mater. I might be biased a bit, but other than high school, nothing. You know, it's here. It's
This is
right
the cream
here.
of the crop.
This is the cream of the crop.
This is the top floor of the building right here.
Yes.
In terms of water polo prestige.
Yes.
Newport Harbor Sailors.
Absolutely. So it's an honor. Happy to be here.
It's an honor to be calling. It is, certainly. Coming out of the timeout, Corona Del Mar on the power play, 6 on 5 advantage.
Ooh.
And they turn it over right away. So Newport Harbor able to negate the advantage, get the ball back with 2:30 to go here in the third. Harbor up by 7. They want to add to their lead. Peter Clark has it at the point position.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
over
look
to
at this.
Borgreave. Inside.
Nah.
Lathy tried the skip shot, ended up hitting the water. Splashes into the goalie's hands, and CDM on the counterattack.
You know, you might be able to get away with that with a 7-goal lead, but still, you know, coach is going to say something.
Coach said expect today's game to be a little sloppy.
Yeah, you know, I think the writing's on the wall after however long they've been out of the pool. So
Nathaniel Evans has it here right in front of us, back up top to Simon Selly at the point position. And another turnover. Nope. Yep, that's another turnover. So we got an offensive foul on CDM and a turnover for the Sailors.
yeah, I mean, I haven't been making any notes on that stat, but that would be an interesting one. We've had a lot of calls go our way. I mean, good defense by the boys, for sure.
Newport Harbor has it down in the 5 spot, back up top to Lathy at the point position, swims in a little, uncorks one, tests the rocket launcher, might have beheaded the goalie,
Yeah.
but he missed the goal. So over the top of the cage, turnover, 90 seconds to go here in the third. Sailors still lead by 7.
All right, let's watch this. This whole game we've been trying to bury the ball right there and not allow the pass into 2 meters. And so just keep your eye on that, Alex. That's kind of
So
something
that's
fun to
going
watch.
down right for our viewers at home, right in front of the cage, that battle between Lathy and number 10, Kyle Jolis, in the 10 cap for the Sea Kings. Battle to keep him from getting the ball as the shot clock down to single digits for CDM. They're unable to get the penetration they want. Desperation heave. It goes off the wrist of Peter Clark, and another turnover for the Sea Kings.
And another exclusion during transition.
So timeout taken here by Ross Sinclair on the power play. 63 seconds to go in the quarter. Harbor leads by 7. Andy, I think it's important for our viewers what you're trying to point out there. Explain what's happening right in front of the cage there when CDM's on offense.
Okay, if we're on the football side of the pool, that's
The far side of the pool.
The far side, what you and I would call the 4-5 position, with the 5 being on the 2 meter line. Like if CDM doesn't have a lefty over there, it's a tough shot for a righty. So you block the pass entry to 2 meters from that side. You drop back so the 4 and 5 can't make the pass in. As soon as the 2 meter defender gets around, denying that angle, 4 and 5 press out, and it's a full out press with a bad angle. It just drains the shot clock.
Okay, so now explain that to me in layman's terms. Why do we do that? Why is Harbor doing that?
Because you're giving a shot to a terrible angle, allowing your defense to adjust to that in an easier fashion, so then you can press out, bury the ball in the corner, not allowing an easy pass, and it just drains the clock. Because until there is a ordinary foul, the clock continues to run, and you're just trying to burn that 30-second shot clock.
Well, it seems to be working for the Sailors. Up by 7 here. 63 seconds to go in the third quarter, dominating.
Yeah.
Ross Sinclair obviously wants to draw something up. I assume he's got a set play, a designed play he wants to run here out of the power play, out of the 6-on-5, which has been very good for the Sailors tonight.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good time to practice something, right? It's a game time scenario. He's probably ran this in the pool, and we're going to put it to practice. This might be a little chestnut he's going to pull out down the stretch. But, let's see. Just keep your eye on the 2 and the 3 post, because that's an easy shot, or a good pass for an easy shot.
Now, when you say the 2 and the 3 post, you're talking about the center right in front of the cage?
So, no, on a 6-on-5 position, right? So we have a 4 people on the bottom,
so
2 on top.
We're going to go 2
right
in front
here.
of the cage.
Yes. So it's Lathy and Lathy. Watch the Lathy brothers on the post.
The brothers Lathy inside. Shot and a goal. Work to perfection. Eli Lathy with the hat trick, joining his brother Ben, who has 4. Eli has 3. Brotherly love down there. Lathy to Lathy. That is 7 combined goals for the Lathy bros tonight. And Harbor leads by 8, 11-3, with under a minute to go here in the third quarter, dominating the Sea Kings in this Battle of the Bay opening game of the season for Newport Harbor boys water polo. Hennessy with the ball for CDM, and great defense by the Sailors, absolutely smothering.
Yeah, look at, see, they're not trying to get the ordinary foul, want to just drain that clock.
CDM forced to work it back and forth between the 1 and the 2, a shot and a goal. That's number 6. Eamon Hennessy, his second goal of the evening. Excuse me, actually, no, first goal of the evening. I'm sorry.
No,
I just read my notes. First goal of the evening for Eamon Hennessy. CDM has 4. Trail by 7, 11-4. Your score. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock here in the third quarter. 30 seconds to go in the game. 24 on the shot clock for the Sailors as the sophomore Ben Lathy has it. Passes it over to Eric DeSund.
That sounds about right to me, Alex.
And a shot, bar out.
Nice, good, yeah, bar out.
Here comes CDM, final 10 seconds of the quarter. Single digits on the clock for the Sea Kings, trailing by 7, 11-4. Your score in favor of Newport Harbor. Long shot, nothing doing. Bean Altschuler keeps it from getting in the goal, and Harbor leads by 7, 11-4. Your score heading to the fourth. Sailors dominating this Battle of the Bay. Alex Crawford, Andy Hayes with you here from the Bill Barnett pool deck. We're going to catch our breath. We'll have 1 quarter of action left in this Battle of the Bay matchup. When we come back, 7-point lead for the Sailors, trying to put the final nail in the coffin against the Sea Kings and move to 1-0. You are watching Newport Harbor Boys Water Polo on TarTV. Welcome back into TarTV. Alex Crawford, Andy Hayes with you here live from the Bill Barnett pool deck. Fourth quarter action getting ready to get underway. And CDM in a big hole, which makes us very happy here on the home broadcast of the Sailors. Newport Harbor leads 11-4.
Yeah, that's as a Sailor, as an alum, don't you just love that? And as a water polo player, a good rule of thumb for your defense is if you can limit the team to 1 goal per quarter, you've done a pretty good job defensively. So we still got, 7 minutes left, but I think Newport's got it in them to hold them off. Let's just wait and see.
7 minutes left. CDM would have to go from scoring 1 goal a quarter to 1 goal a minute here in the fourth quarter. But I know, using your rule of thumb of 1 goal a quarter, got to assume head coach Ross Sinclair for the Sailors doesn't want to let any goals get past his goalkeeper here in this fourth period. As It looks like we have a new keeper in the cage.
Nope, we still got Bean.
Okay, we got the same keeper in the cage, Bean Altschuler. The ball drop, and this time the Sea Kings come away with it. So they will have.
Okay, we got a clock malfunction.
We got a little clock malfunction, and we're going to have a little timeout of the scorekeeper's table.
Yeah.
As head coach. You know what I love about water polo? Kind of the hands-on nature of the coaching. Rarely in football would you, or never in football, would you see the head football coach run up to the press box and do anything with the clock or talk. But head coach Ross Sinclair was over at the scores table, in the blink of an eye to make sure things are getting fixed. I feel like the coaches, Ross Sinclair, whoever, are really one step away from getting in a Speedo, putting a cap on, and jumping in the pool.
Yeah. You know what? I was just about to say that's the sign of a true leader. Ross is not willing to do anything. He doesn't have his team do anything that he wouldn't do himself.
Do you think Coach Sinclair has a Speedo on under his khakis?
You know what? I think he does. He's always had a Superman thing, so I think he's just always wanted to go into a phone booth and get in his uniform,
Clark Kent-esque.
Yes. Yeah.
They got the clock fixed, and now the fourth period underway. CDM on the attack.
Sam.
And an exclusion. Is that going to be a penalty shot?
It's a penalty shot, Sam Allen.
So a penalty shot for the Sea Kings. Eamon Hennessy will take the shot. Bar out off the top of the cage. Ends up right into the hands of Bean Altschuler, the Newport Harbor goalkeeper. Man, Hennessy's got a rocket launcher.
Yeah, that cage struck us all the way over here. Oh, my gosh, lazy pass, turnover.
Come
on.
By the Sailors. Here come the Sea Kings, down 7 early here in the fourth period. They feed it ahead to Nathaniel Evans on the near side of the pool, right in front of us. Back up to the point position. That's Simon Selly there, and now CDM just working it around. Really had a hard time getting penetration today, have the Sea Kings.
Yeah, just good defense by Newport.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Saved by Altschuler. Gets a paw on that one and punches it out of the sky. Possession will be retained by the Sea Kings.
Yeah.
New shot clock, too. 30 seconds on it now for CDM.
Yeah, and this is a tough one. You've just played about 30 seconds of defense already. Back into another one. Oh, some sort of offensive foul by CDM.
So offensive foul.
That's brutal.
Gives possession back to the Sailors. CDM can't catch a break tonight, but really, it's not bad luck. It's just the dominance of Newport Harbor boys water polo as Peter Clark has it at the point position. Now they try to feed it on the far side of the pool. A scrum for the ball. Is that an offensive foul, Andy?
Yeah, so Sam Allen, our fella down here who got excluded, just drew his own exclusion. It was a good pass by Ben Lathy to put Sam in a position to earn that exclusion. But, it's a good heads-up play to know when your defender is out of position to go. So,
well, the water polo gods giveth, and the water polo gods taketh away, earning exclusions.
Let's see if he redeems himself here.
And now a penalty shot for Newport Harbor. Sam Allen trying to add to Harbor's 7-point lead, under 6 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, believe it or not, Sam's a pretty good golfer.
And he skips that one in. A hole in one, 12-4 for Sam Allen. Sailors up by 8 here with 5:48 to go in this game. Pretty good golfer. Have you spent some time on the green?
I would
on
say
the front 9, back 9, hole 18. Where do you guys golf at, Andy?
Oh, I think we had one Saturday, Coach Ross, myself, and Sam. There might have been one other player. We went for a little mat session.
That's the place to do it. Newport Beach Municipal.
That's right.
And I heard they recently converted their restaurant into a sushi bar.
Oh, you know what? I believe so. It's not the tee box anymore, right?
It's not the tee box anymore.
Yeah,
and
so
I'm sure some people are sad about that. CDM back on attack after the penalty shot goal, up by 8, 5:30 to go in this game. Sailors defense smothering, and the ball ends up in Newport Harbor's possession. Who else but Ben Lathy with his 4 goals to come up with it. Pass back to the goalkeeper, Bean Altschuler, and Mr. Bean feeds it ahead to his teammates. They're trying to get it inside. A scrum for the ball and a turnover.
Ross wants a 5-meter on that one. They're not going to give it to him. Up by 8.
And a 5-meter exclusion would draw a penalty shot?
Yes, correct. Yeah, Ross wanted that penalty, but refs are going to let the teams play here.
CDM gets it into their 2-meter player, trying to come away with it, and 3 blue caps, correct that, 4 blue caps for the Sailors, swarm to the ball, and it's a CDM turnover.
I mean, that's just been the whole name of the game, is just that ball gets into 2 meters, if ever, and everybody crashes back. It's great.
Ben Lathy on the far side of the pool to the 2 spot. Back up top to Peter Clark at the point position.
Look at that.
Over to Lathy. Inside to Castillo. What's the call there, Andy?
Yeah, so CDM stole the ball, and they wanted to dump it. The offensive player felt a little bit of pressure, so he tried to dump it, but unfortunately it skipped out, and it's now a Newport ball.
So Newport ball.
Yes.
Timeout taken by Ross Sinclair. 4:26 to go in the game. Sailors up by 8. Sticking with our math theme of tonight's broadcast, Harbor now with 3 times the score of CDM.
Oh, wow. You're really good with numbers, aren't you?
Well, you know I learned math from Brian Melstrom,
No.
Newport Harbor water polo coach.
Well, that explains it. Okay. I mean, I had great math teachers here. Mr. McCarty, Mr. Balone, Mr. Butler.
I'm Mr. Balone.
Did you?
Yeah. 0 period, algebra 2?
Oh, no. Come on. No, I was in the pool during 0 period.
Of course you were.
I think it was 2nd period freshman year, algebra 1.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Mr. Balone, here on these TarTV live streams, we're hoping to be able to broadcast some wrestling, and we heard, it hasn't been confirmed, but we heard there might be some wrestling meets taking place in between the 2 gyms here.
Oh,
The
cool.
old gym and the new gym.
No way.
Outdoor, COVID safety, but some outdoor wrestling, which
Right
I feel like
on.
would really be a throwback to the old Greek and Roman days.
Wait, did you wrestle?
I did wrestle freshman year.
Did you?
I did wrestle freshman year.
No way. What weight class?
I think I was 112.
112
Yeah.
pounds?
I am about 60 pounds heavier now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fighting weight. 112 though.
Yes, 112.
Oh, dude, that's crazy. Right on.
Back
Well, you
in-
look great, Alex.
Well, thank you.
It's all muscle.
I'm a few pounds more than 112, but I'm glad I don't weigh 112 pounds.
Yeah, that's.
I would
Hey.
probably
you
not
know.
be here. Probably be very sick. All right, 4:20 to go in the game. Sailors up by 8. 12-4 your score, and Harbor has the ball on the attack. Up top to Owen Tift, who swims in a little, dumps it into the 2-meter spot, and CDM, great defense by them. That was Eamon Hennessy. Who else? Seems to be the Sea Kings' best player, seems to be everywhere, and he gets a mitt on it, forces the turnover. Sea Kings on the counterattack. They have it on the far side of the pool.
Nice, funny, cool story. I've known Owen Tift for a very long time. My dad and his grandparents know each other, and I think they're watching from Costa Rica.
Wow,
Yeah.
we're going international on TarTV.
International. I mean,
Big shout out to anyone who's watching here.
I think we just earned an exclusion here, Alex. Sorry about that.
No, that's good. Let me know. You know, Andy, I'm a little green when it comes to water polo. And it's going to be a timeout by head coach Ross Sinclair and a 6-on-5 opportunity, another power play. Like I said, we don't have advanced stats here at the Bill Barnett pool deck, but there have been a lot of 6-on-5s for the Sailors today. That was the story of the game early, was Harbor getting those power plays, earning those exclusions, and scoring. They put their foot on the gas. They never looked back. So we'll see what Ross Sinclair draws up here out of the timeout on another power play opportunity for Newport Harbor.
Okay, Alex, so after our last 6-on-5, as a viewer, where would you think the ball is going to try to be passed? Where have we scored a couple of our goals from?
I'm going to guess they're going to try to get it down to the 2-3 post.
Yes, excellent.
Which is, for those watching home, that's the inside position. That's the equivalent of the center in basketball is the 2-3 post in water polo.
Correct. We have 2 players there, right? 1 on each post, but yes, like right there in front of the cage. So just watch one of the wings, position 1 or 6, taking the ball inside of 2 meters, allowing for those 2 post players to enter into 2 meters, right? Because you can't. It's like offside in soccer unless the ball's inside. So just watch for that on this play. It's either going to come from the far side or our side. But I would almost guarantee you that's what Coach Ross got.
And for those watching at home, who are most likely to be our players in those post positions for the Sailors?
It has been Eli Lathy. I bet you Owen Tift. Mason Hunt has made an appearance down there, but we've had a lot of Lathy to Lathy connections here. So
the brothers.
Let's
Lathy,
see where they go.
Ben, the sophomore, with 4 goals tonight. His older brother Eli headed to play up in Westwood next season. He's a senior. Eli, he's got 3, so 7 goals for the Lathy bros. Tiff with a shot and a goal.
All right. Okay, so that was a kind of unusual setup for a 6-on-5. It was the traditional 3-3, but CDM is down a player, so it's a little funky. No defender came out to Owen Tiff to make a stop. He was able to walk that into about 2 meters and take the shot. So
Owen Tift puts the Sailors up by 9. 3:30 to go in this game. Newport Harbor leads 13-4. Sea Kings on the counterattack have yet to score in this period. They get it over on the far side of the pool.
Ooh.
They try to get it down to the 4 position. Exclusion. So CDM now on the power play.
Yeah, so CDM was able to draw that ejection on the 3-5 drive, earning an exclusion on
CDM on the power play, 6-on-5, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Trying to get a good look. Great defense by Harbor despite being a man down. Shot by CDM, and it's out of bounds. Turnover. Here come the Sailors.
I might say Nick Richardson was able to get a finger on that one, send it over the cage. We'll give it to him, though, I think.
We'll give it to him. Yeah, we'll give it to him.
And here's his little brother, Tommy.
The Richardson bros in the pool, Nick and Tommy, a senior and a junior, Nick and Tommy respectively. Here come the Sailors down at the 1 spot. Thought about a shot, no errant pass.
Yeah, CDM's dropping into 2 meters. They do not want the ball to get into.
Bar out on the shot from Tift. 2:30 to go in the game. CDM back on attack, trailing by 9, 13-4. Your score in this opening season Battle of the Bay here at Newport Harbor High School. In at the 2-meter player. Pass inside, and a shot sails on him. Turnover. Here come the Sailors.
As you can see, everybody's kind of slowing down on that transition. 2 minutes left of a tough-fought game.
2 minutes left in the game. Harbor up 13-4. Getting the ball down at the 1 spot. Now back up to the point position. Owen Bartlett in the game now for the Sailors. Gets it over to Nick Richardson at the 5 position. Shot wide right. Excuse me, from the 4. From the 4.
Good, Alex. Yes, exactly.
We're getting there.
That was a well-run play. I thought a good look. We could have just had a bit of a better shot. But good job by Newport.
90 seconds left. Sea Kings just playing for some pride now. Would like to get another shot. Is that an exclusion?
No. Ordinary, but that could have been a steal.
Shot.
That was 50-50.
And nothing doing. Just kind of limply fell out of the hand of Nathaniel Evans. Ends up right in the hands.
Micah Santoni. Senior Michael Santoni. This is our 3rd goalie.
Okay, so Michael Santoni.
Micah yes,
Santoni, our senior goalkeeper in now. All 3 goalkeepers getting some playing time tonight for the Sailors. Back on the counterattack. 70 seconds to go in this game. And at the 4 spot is Tommy Richardson. Inside the 2-meter player and a goal. Nick Richardson, another brotherly connection. Richardson to Richardson. And Nick gets on the board. Assisted by his brother Tommy. 13-4, Sailors lead with just over a minute to go in this game.
Yeah, well, it's a little off topic here, Alex, but I just want to acknowledge Micah Santoni. That kid charges some pretty big waves, whether it's on a surfboard or a boogie board, stuff that would terrify me. So,
and if it would terrify you, it would probably drown me.
No, come on. Remember, we're going to do our Surfing 101 class.
Yeah, when are we doing that?
You tell me, brother.
60 seconds left in this game. Sailors lead by 9, 13-4. Your score, and Harbor not letting up off the gas defensively at all. Great defense there by Harbor. Finn Lesueur able to get the turnover, and in the final minute, there's some guys in the pool that haven't scored yet for the Sailors. They'd love to get a look at it. Over at the 4 spot, Nick Richardson's got it on the near side of the pool. Struggle for the ball. Good defense by CDM, and they come up with it. Cameron Simon Selly with some great defense to get a takeaway there for the Sea Kings.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job, CDM. Hopefully they don't get a goal here.
Final 20 seconds of this game. Only 4 seconds differentiating the shot clock and the game clock. 6-on-5, CDM earns an exclusion. They want to get a goal. It's a lob shot, and it's good in the final 12 seconds of the game, just over the head of Micah Santoni. So 13-5, your score now. CDM able to get one in right before the horn sounds.
Yeah, you know, I really wanted to see only 4 goals, but it's okay. First game back.
I did too, Andy. Harbor still leads by 8, final 7 seconds. Nick Richardson, right in front of us, has it, passes it across the pool. The horn sounds, and that does it here from the Bill Barnett pool deck. Your final, 14 in favor of the Sailors and 5 for the Sea Kings. Harbor moves to 1-0, and more importantly, they defeat our crosstown, our cross-water rival, the Corona Del Mar High School Sea Kings. Harbor wins 14-5 to go up 1-0 on the season. CDM falls to 0-1, and the Battle of the Bay remains in the Newport Harbor Sailors' favor. They haven't lost in 3 years, and they certainly aren't losing here tonight in the year 2021 in our first water polo game for these boys in a long time. Keep in mind, boys water polo typically a fall sport, and our first water polo game in general for the Newport Harbor Sailors in over a year. Andy, the last game you and I did together was the CIF girls semifinal, D1 against Laguna, back in February of 2020. Over a year ago, which seems like a lifetime ago now. So great to be back on the pool deck with a win.
Oh, it really is, Alex. I've been, you know, what would we, is Brooks the producer?
Well, so yeah, we got to give a shout out to our crew here. Brooks
Absolutely.
Clark, Sydney Griffin, John Hoist, running things behind the scenes for TarTV. Brooks Clark, fellow Newport Harbor class of 2009er here with us, and a bit of an expert in the sports broadcasting world, works behind the scenes in college football at Fox Sports, so he's bringing his expertise to this broadcast behind the scenes. Then we have Sydney Griffin, a junior here, who works for TarTV. For the I don't know if works is the right word, because, you know, she's in charge of these live broadcasts for TarTV. And then, of course, John Hoist, the man behind the scenes. Mr. Hoist, is we knew him back in our day here at Newport Harbor. They are the ones making the magic happen behind the scenes. You and I, we just get to sit back, kick back, and watch the games. They're doing the hard work, so we appreciate them and all they do. Absolutely.
I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself, Alex. We get to enjoy the game, and while they do all the stuff behind. So great. Thank you, guys. And we're happy to be here.
Well, let's wrap things up here from the Bill Barnett pool deck, Andy, as we'll get a glass of water, maybe a shot of espresso, and get ready for our girls' Battle of the Bay coming up in just a little bit. That game will be live just after 8 o'clock here on the same stream, so bookmark this page, save it however you save things, and make sure to tune back in for the girls' game live at 8 p.m. on TarTV. But, Andy, let's bring it back to this, because this is our first time getting a chance to watch Newport Harbor water polo in over a year. This was a boys team that really, they had high hopes for the season. They had CIF aspirations. Coach Ross Sinclair, in his 6th season with Newport Harbor boys water polo, has gone back-to-back years, CIF finals, losing to the same school, Harvard-Westlake. Wanted to get the monkey off their back this year, weren't able to. But they're still playing for pride this season, right? Like they still want to come out and dominate the pool, even on a shortened year, right?
Oh, of course. Ross Sinclair does not see this, nor do any of the boys, as a lost season, or, you know, just games they're playing. They're looking at this as their lost season.
We're going to be on camera. That's what they're telling us.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah, they're not treating this any different than if it was a CIF water polo season. So that's a bummer. It's unfortunate. Like you said, they have a bad taste left in their mouth after last season. But Coach Ross is doing everything he can to keep these boys fired up.
Well, if you can't get a shot at Harvard-Westlake, the team that knocked you out of the CIF finals 2 years in a row, the least you can do if you're the Newport Harbor Sailors is keep dominating your crosstown rival. 3 years in a row, Newport Harbor hasn't lost to CDM. They kept up that tradition here tonight. They will play again this season. They opened the season with CDM. They closed the season with CDM. But for now, the 3-year win streak continues for the Newport Harbor boys water polo team against the Corona Del Mar Sea Kings.
Yeah, again, I just get blown away by that stat. I wish I was able to say something like that. But, yeah, it's like what? Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, right? The coaches don't last long if they don't beat their crosstown rivals.
Oh, for sure.
So, I mean, Ross definitely knows that. So he does everything he can to put it to the Sea Kings.
Ross's job security in very good shape with the way he's been dominating the Sea Kings lately. Let's just run through the box score here from the Newport Harbor boys, who moved to 1-0 with the win. Give a shout-out to everybody who was able to get in the cage tonight. Well, first of all, we saw 3 different goalkeepers in the cage for Newport Harbor. Great job by them, only allowing 5 goals for CDM, Bean Altschuler, Cooper Mathisrud, and Micah Santoni. But who was able to score tonight for Newport Harbor, leading the way for the Sailors, was the sophomore Ben Lathy in cap number 13. He had 4 goals. Then his brother Eli Lathy with 3 with the hat trick. So 7 goals combined for the Lathy bros. That's quite a performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's an incredible stat for 2 brothers, but we got to remember it was great team play by everybody in the pool. None of those goals would have been made if it wasn't for the other five or 4 people contributing. So that was beautiful to watch. You can see that Ross has had a huge impact because those boys really showed what would have been hammered over the last year in practice. With their limited time now, it looked like they've been in the pool for a while. So that's awesome. Kudos to those guys and Ross and the whole coaching staff.
7 other Sailors able to find the back of the net here tonight. Peter Clark with a goal. Pete Castillo with a goal. Gage Vertigal, Mason Hunt, and Billy Rankin, and Nick Richardson, all able to find a goal. So in total, 9 Sailors scoring tonight. The Lathy brothers with 7 of those, and the other 7 being spread out evenly amongst the Sailors. So what an offensive showing for the Sailors. But, of course, if we ask Coach Ross Sinclair, guaranteed point out the defense.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, defense leads to those goals, right? A lot of those were off of the 6-on-5 advantage, which came directly out of the defense to transition. I mean, it all starts from defense for sure. So,
well, Andy, great to get back on the mic with you here at the pool deck. Great to be just a few meters away from the chlorinated water, smell the pool deck.
That's right.
And be back on the Newport Harbor water polo scene. It felt good.
Oh, it felt great. Get to stretch the legs, if you will.
Yeah. It's like riding a bike, as you said.
Oh, yeah.
The ball dropping, I'm like, which sport are we watching? And by the end, man, my craving for polo reignited.
Good. You're sounding like a true polo fan there, Alex. It's great. It's beautiful to see.
Well, former Newport Harbor coach David Lynch, filmmaker.
Oh, that's right.
Jason Lynch.
Good stuff, though.
When I saw him at the CIF semifinals game against Laguna, I told him, oh, man, I'm really starting to like water polo. He said, it'll take control of your life, Alex. It's like, well, I'm not quite there yet, Coach Lynch. I'm not quite there yet. Let's bump the brakes on that. But I do love it. It's a beautiful sport. And, Andy, we'll be back in just under an hour for the girls' opening game of the season, Battle of the Bay for them. Varsity girls water polo taking on CDM at 8 o'clock here from the Bill Barnett pool deck. Andy, I'll talk to you in an hour.
Sounds good, Alex. See you then.
Awesome. For our production crew, Sydney Griffin, Brooks Clark, and John Hoist. For Principal Sean Bolton, Athletic Director Dr. Murray, and all our viewers on TarTV, this is Alex Crawford saying from the pool deck to Davidson Field, from the bell tower to all of Newport Harbor High School. Thanks for tuning in to TarTV. We'll be back in an hour for Battle of the Bay Round 2, girls taking on CDM. Go Sailors. Bienvenidos, aloha, and welcome into Newport Harbor Water Polo live on TarTV. Alex Crawford, three-time national champion Andy Hayes with you here from the Bill Barnett Memorial Pool Deck, and we are all set for our first game of the season, which just so happens to be the Crosstown rivalry, one of the biggest rivalries in Southern California high school athletics, the Battle of the Bay between Newport Harbor and CDM. Andy, are you ready for some Sailors water polo?
You know what? I think I am. It's been a year in the waiting, Alex. I've been chomping at the bit, so I can confidently say absolutely.
The last time that you and I called a Newport Harbor girls water polo game, Andy, February 19th, 2020, over 1 year ago, Sailors lost to Laguna in a hard-fought battle, CIF semifinals game, 9-7, your final score there. That was a great game. That was an amazing game. Harbor trailed 4-2 at halftime. Took a 6-5 lead on Taylor Smith's goal with just under 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Laguna prevailed. Laguna ended up winning CIF D1 7-6 over Foothill. But what a great season. What a fun season last year for these Newport Harbor girls. It's a real treat to be back here at the pool calling their game today.
It really is. And you said it was the last time we called a girls' Newport Harbor water polo game. That was the last time you ever called a water polo game, right? You never even got a chance to do the boys until tonight.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, yes, that was true until about 2 hours ago when we did the boys game over CDM.
That's right,
But up until today,
yes,
up until March 4th, 2021, it had been over a year for me, 370 or 80 or almost 400 days without polo for one Alex Crawford, and I was also chomping at the bit to get back out on the pool deck.
That's unbelievable. That's too long for anybody to go without water polo. Let me tell you, Alex.
Well, let's talk about this Newport Harbor girls team before we get all set for the Battle of the Bay. By the way, last time Newport Harbor played CDM, February 4th, 2020, Sailors won 7-3. They clinched second place in the Surf League with that win and eliminated CDM from playoff contention. So they did have their cake, and they ate it too last time they played the Sea Queens. Harbor outscored CDM 5-0 in that game. So they look to continue their dominance. Last year was the first time Newport Harbor beat CDM since Ross's first year. CDM had a little bit of a dominant run. Head coach Ross Sinclair in his third year coaching the Sailors. But last year, Sailors didn't lose to them. So they really want to keep that dominance up against the CDM girls team here this evening.
Of course. I mean, the rivalry game, right? They're always a tough game. The rivals always come out to play. But I think after the showing that we saw with the boys and the training that they've gone through, I think it's going to translate to our girls team here. We have some studs, some returning stars that you know of.
I wanted to ask, let's tell our viewers, and thank you to everyone who's tuned in on the TarTV live stream, watching at home,
yes, thank
on their mobile device, at their desktop or laptop, wherever you're watching. We thank you for making us part of their evening. Who should the Sailor faithful keep their eyes on in the pool here tonight for the Newport Harbor girls?
Well, right here, starting with cap number 1, Anna Reed. I mean, she was a freshman last year, and she definitely made an impact on the gameplay of the Sailors. And I remember you, not even as a water polo, somebody experienced in that field or that sport, you noticed that she was a dominating force on the defensive end. So,
absolutely. 11 saves for freshman Anna Reed in the last Battle of the Bay, now a sophomore, so we'll get our first looks at her in the pool tonight. Andy, who else do you have circled on your Sailors to watch tonight here from the Bill Barnett pool deck?
Well, Taylor Smith, she's a very crafty, offensive-minded player with obviously who can play defense. You can't be on this Sailor team and not be able to play defense, but she's fun to watch on the offensive end. We got the future SC Trojan, Olivia Giolis, in 2 meters, and I remember you calling her name a bunch last season, so it'll be fun to watch her. And Lily Guess. I mean, Lily Guess is just knows the game, is smart, and kind of lets things helps with the plays and things go successfully in the Newport event.
The ball is dropped and the game is underway.
Yeah, Newport Harbor won that sprint, so that's good. An extra possession, as my dad would always say. The goalie is still holding on to it. No pass for her to make.
Anna Reed patiently passes it ahead to Morgan Netherton. Cross pool pass, inside shot. Just a bit outside on the shot there.
Taylor Smith.
That was Taylor Smith testing out her arm on her first shot of the day.
Yes, she did. She passed the ball from 3 to 2 and a nice 31 drive and got open. Just couldn't sneak it in.
Andy, I expect a back-and-forth, hard-fought battle here today. Probably a little bit closer than our boys' score earlier, 14-5. The Sailors absolutely dominated that performance. Let's see what the girls do here as Taylor Smith has it at the point position. Gets it over to
Lily Guess.
Good to see her back in the pool, back up top. to Guess over to Avery Montiel. 3 goals, last battle of the Bay, inside to the 2-meter player. A scrum for the ball and a turnover. That was Kate Rodman who came up with that for the Sea Queens. And now scoreless here in the first. Corona Del Mar back on the counterattack.
Yeah, that was a good crash back on the 2 meters. I mean, every team's going to know Olivia Giolis is a dominating force in 2 meters, so that's going to be a definite focal point for any defense playing Newport Harbor.
CDM has it over at the 5 spot. Cap number 5. Nicole Fagella with the ball. Back up top to the point position. Kat Snyder has it guarded tightly by Giolis. And a shot right into the mitt of Anna Reed, the sophomore goalkeeper. Will push things ahead to the 5 spot for Avery Montiel, the lefty swimming in. Thought about a shot, now feeds it inside.
Yeah, no, a good pass, earning an exclusion, Olivia Giolis.
All right, 6-5, Newport Harbor with the advantage. Lily Guess at the 4 spot, back to the 5 is Smith. Thought about testing the rocket launcher, now trying to get it inside. It's a turnover. That was Grace Myers coming up with it for the Sea Queens. Scoreless game here early in the first. And here comes Corona Del Mar.
Yeah, Morgan Netherton did a little bit of a mystery there from the 2 to 3 post pass. The 3 post wasn't quite ready for that one, but I like the look.
Kat Snyder brings it across mid-pool for Corona Del Mar. And they get it over.
So
inside to their 2-meter player, their center, and it's an exclusion. So 6-on-5 for the Sea Queens with the advantage. Can they strike first here in the first quarter? Cross pool pass. Good defense by Harbor. Back up to Kate Rodman. Defense by Harbor is smothering. Trying to get a shot off. Shot clock down to 7. Bar out off the top of the cage. Possession Newport Harbor. Avery Montiel comes up with it.
And here we go. Just like in the boys game earlier in the transition, Newport Harbor earns an exclusion. I didn't get to see where it was, but.
So Harbor on the power play now. Scoreless game halfway through the first. Over to the 4 spot. Guess has it. Up top to the point position. Giolis now inside. Scrum for the ball. It's loose.
Ooh.
Guess comes up with it. It's going to be a foul, ordinary foul against CDM.
Quick.
Possession retained by Harbor. Shot, no. Shot clock goes off, but resets Harbor, retaining possession.
Yes. Thank goodness that field block didn't go out of bounds. Oh, come on.
Turnover that time. They tried to get that inside to Smith, it looked like, and Kate Rodman. Great defense there by the Sea Queens.
Yeah, good play over Taylor Smith's hips right there to get in a good position without getting excluded and make that steal.
Sea Queens pushing the pace on the counterattack. Skip shot.
Here we go. Let's see if Olivia Giolis, she's kind of in the right place at the right time. Let's see if she can make anything happen in this transition.
The future USC Trojan, Olivia Giolis, wearing cap number 12. Multiple-time Daily Pilot Athlete of the Week, Giolis is. Montiel has it. Inside. Fight for the ball. Giolis is going to earn a penalty shot.
Yeah, sorry, I got look excited. When there's a ball under, when the goalie has the ball and there's a ball under, which just happened. Olivia Giolis.
Wait, so let's slow down here.
Yeah.
What's a ball under?
So when the ball is underwater for an amount of time, that's illegal. That's a turnover. If there's a defender around, it's like hiding the ball. So
Morgan Netherton here will take the penalty shot for Newport Harbor.
Yes, Morgan is a
deadly sniper.
Oh yeah. I have confidence in this shot right here, Alex.
2:40 to go in the first period. Scoreless from the Bill Barnett pool deck. Our first game of the season just so happens to be our big rivalry game, the Battle of the Bay. Boys won earlier, 14-5. Sailor girls hoping to continue their dominance of the Sea Queens. Didn't lose to them last year, and in fact knocked them out of playoff contention. Skip shot by Netherton is in. And the Sailors draw first blood on the penalty shot. Morgan Netherton had 1 goal last year in the Battle of the Bay. She adds 1 to her tally here tonight. Sailors lead 1-0.
Yeah. I mean, that the goalie got a hand on that, but just the raw power of Morgan Netherton was able to sneak by. You know, she put it in a great
flamethrower.
Flamethrower. I mean, but she put it in the right spot. The goalie's going to come up high. You put that low. Usually skips under the arm. So Morgan was able to make it work. Great to see a goal on the board.
Kat Snyder Passes it ahead to Grace Myers, defended tightly by Lily Guess. Textbook smothering defense by the Sailors. And CDM unable to get it anywhere. Turnover. Ends up right at the possession of Sophia Stark. She'll feed it to Reed, and here comes Newport Harbor.
Oh, my gosh. An offensive. Oh, no, and an exclusion.
So what just happened, Andy?
Lily Guess, number 13, made some sort of play. I didn't get to see it, but it turned the ball over to CDM offensively, and then she did something else to earn an exclusion.
6-on-5 opportunity. Shot saved by Reed. Inside scrum for the ball, and Reed's going to come up with it. Don't mess with Anna Reed. Test the flamethrower, uncork a fastball. She's there.
She's there. She's there. Still there from 2020. My goodness.
Number 7, Avery Montiel, the lefty. I believe she's left-handed.
She is, yes. And that is a big advantage in water polo, just like baseball.
You know what? I should have played water polo, Andy.
Are you a southpaw?
Yes, I am. But I don't know how to swim, and that's the problem. 90 seconds left in the first. Turnover by the Sailors. They lead 1-0.
Yeah, this has just been a dogfight.
We expect a dogfight with these teams.
That's true.
We
Always,
expect
right?
a dogfight here. But you know what? It was a dogfight that ended the first quarter in the previous game here tonight. Boys Battle of the Bay. Sailors just dominated 14-5. Shot saved by Reed again.
So just think about this, Alex. Every single time they are going into transition, they have an offensive possession, either team, and they don't score, they got to transition back. And they've been doing this for about the entire time of the first quarter, all 7 minutes.
Inside shot is in. Just to the right of the goalie, Lily Guess finds pay dirt. And she leads. She gives Harbor the 2-0 lead with 1 minute to go here in the first.
That was a really nice layout shot. Good job by Lily. That was a good move out of 2 meters. Nice post up.
Head coach Ross Sinclair is hot. What's he heated about, Andy?
You know what? I wish I knew, but you can almost flip a coin, and Coach Ross is going to be upset with whatever the outcome is on that. So, it could be anything.
It could be anything. 50 seconds to go in the game. 15 on the shot clock for CDM. They trail by 2. Sailors up 2-0. Goals by Netherton and Giolis.
Good defense by Newport. Crashing back early. Read that pass.
Oh, Netherton read that pass like a defensive back in football, just coming in to pick it off.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And Sophia Stark will feed it ahead. 1-on-1 with the goalie. Skip shot, bar out. Ends up in the hands of Avery Montiel. Ordinary foul. Possession, Newport Harbor with 15 seconds to go. 10 seconds on the shot clock. They feed it inside and a goal. Taylor Smith, so prolific in the last Battle of the Bay, gets her first goal of the season. 3-0 Sailors lead with 9 seconds to go in the first.
That was really good. And, how tough is it that you got 9 seconds left if you can just battle out for 9 seconds? The defensive blow, right?
So big time. CDM's got to be licking their wounds as they'll go in.
I love those goals. So, but that was awesome offense by Newport.
Those nail in the coffin type of goals. Horn sounds, that's it. And at the end of 1, CDM trails 3-0 Sailors, getting 3 goals. Taylor Smith, Morgan Netherton, Olivia Giolis, all finding the back of the net for Newport Harbor. Battle of the Bay, first game of the season. Sailors looking for their first win of the season, and they lead 3-0. We'll be right back with second quarter action. Harbor leads in the Battle of the Bay. You are watching Newport Harbor Girls Water Polo on TarTV.
but we'll give it a go.
Welcome back into Newport Harbor Girls Water Polo on TarTV. Alex Crawford, Andy Hayes with you live from the Bill Barnett pool deck. Now, during this break between periods, Andy, Sailors lead 3-0. We learned about a new rule. Now, I know we're going to maybe struggle to explain it as we're trying to figure it out here ourselves, but a new rule in water polo from the high school to the club to the international level. You saw some new cones on the pool deck, and you inquired. What did you find out?
Well, Alex, something that is just completely mind-blowing to me. We have, when I played, it was a 2-meter and a 5-meter, where 5-meter was the penalty shot, and it was also where you could be ordinarily fouled, pick it up and shoot it, but you couldn't swim with the ball and then shoot it. You had to make a pass or take a shot immediately. Now we have the 6-meter cone where you are allowed to be fouled outside of 6, make the ball live to yourself before passing it, and swim it in and shoot it if you get the opportunity.
Well, we'll have to keep our eyes peeled. We haven't seen that yet today, but you did notice there's a new cone and some new rules here as Harbor wins the ball drop and has the first possession of the second period, trailing 3-0. CDM able to get the stop there. Here comes their first counterattack of the second quarter.
I thought that was a pretty ill-advised pass. It looked like that defender was completely in the passing lane. But it's okay. It's our first game back. So, but that was good defense by CDM, and I think an ill-advised pass by Newport. And look here, if you can see, Alex, this is really good 2-meter defense. Lily Guess is completely denying the pass from the 4 and 5, which is 2 righties. So Newport's trying to get that ball buried on that side to give up a bad angle shot, if any shot at all.
And just like that, shot clock expires. Newport Harbor's defense, as you pointed out, Andy, smothering.
Yeah, that was a textbook 4 or 5 drop. Perfectly executed by Newport Harbor.
Alex Love with the ball now, swimming right around the 5-meter line. Cross pool pass.
Okay, Alex, so here you go. So you were asking me about this earlier. Sorry to interrupt. The difference between boys and girls is that the girls' suits, they come up higher out of the water. So the CDM defender was grabbing onto, I think, Morgan Netherton's suit, and the official saw that and called an ejection. So there's a huge difference with the boys and girls.
Montiel working it around. Giolis lets one fly. And it ends up getting in the goal.
Taylor Smith.
Off Taylor Smith's fist. Her second goal, assisted by Alex Love. Taylor Smith, 3 goals in the last battle today. She has 2 in this game tonight. And Sailors lead 4-0, 5:22 to go in the second period.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a heads-up play. Way to stay there, knowing that the ball, you have the potential when you're, I like to call that the blender. That was a garbage, little trash cleanup, but it's great to get those goals.
Garbage disposal, blender.
Oh, yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Oh, the 2-post Taylor Smith's goal earlier, the last play.
Interior, inside feed from CDM, and Morgan Netherton scoops it up, and here comes Harbor on the counterattack. Trying to hold on and seize this momentum. Now a fight around the middle of the pool. That's Avery Montiel and Kate Rodman. Rodman with the pickpocket on Montiel.
Yeah, I didn't really see what happened there, but 1 second it was Newport, next second CDM had the ball. So
McKenna Macedo at the point position tries to get it down to her teammate at the 2 spot. Now they're trying to feed it inside, trying to get it to the 2-meter position, and Taylor Smith with the takeaway for Newport Harbor. Feeds it to her goalie, Anna Reed. And the Sailors now on the attack, looking to add to their 4-0 lead.
Yeah, let's see what they do here. They're going to be working for Olivia Giolis. Oh, nice little post up by Taylor Smith.
Trying to get the post up to Smith. Now back up top to Giolis, the future Trojan. Feeds it down to Guess at the 5 spot.
Yeah.
Back to the 4. Montiel back up top to Guess. Harbor just working it around. 15 on the shot clock for the Sailors. Giolis right around the 5-meter line. Now a shot skips right of the goal, out of bounds. Avery Montiel letting that one fly. Turnover.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to hear what Coach had to say about that one.
Well, what do you think he had to say, Andy?
More patience, probably just one more pass, and then one of the posts would be open. I've heard him say it many times, so I can only imagine tonight's another time.
Well, as you know, Coach Ross Sinclair likes to say, a smooth sea does not make a skilled sailor. Now, the sea's been fairly smooth for the Sailors in this game, leading 4-0 here towards the end of the second period. But it has been an unsmooth sea in terms of the COVID offseason. But wait, let me hold that thought. As one-on-one with the goalkeeper, Morgan Netherton buries it. Her second goal of the game. And the Sailors lead 5-0, pitching a shutout here in the second. 3:15 to go in the second.
And that was Billy Rankin, clumsy guy over there. Hey, watch out for the wires, Billy.
As Kara, don't mess with the live stream.
Unbelievable.
5-0, Harbor leads. 2 goals from Smith, 2 goals from Netherton, and 1 from Lily Guess. Domination of the Sea Queens thus far in game number 1 of the season, which is our Battle of the Bay rivalry. Oh, and what defense there by Lily Guess. All up in the grill of the CDM offensive player. Down into the 2 spot, and once again, Taylor Smith swarms to the ball like bees to honey, forcing the turnover. Anna Reed will push things again for the Sailors on the counterattack. Nice interception there.
Oof.
Kate Rodman, and it looked like Paige Nagel got a fistful of jersey on that.
Yeah, Paige did something. She's going to spend 20 seconds in the penalty box right there.
Where is the penalty box on the pool deck, Andy?
Well, it's actually on this side. So another thing I've noticed, Alex, is that my entire career on this pool deck, the benches were on the opposite side from where we're sitting. This is the first time that the coaches and everything's been on the same side. So I'm still trying to figure that out.
Those are nice benches, too. I don't know if they are – well, I don't think we have a camera angle on it, but they are nice engraved with Newport Aquatics on the bench, although – you'll rarely see head coach Ross Sinclair taking a seat, usually pacing the pool deck, barking out orders, some to the girls, some to the officials.
Yeah, yes. I wonder if he has a step counter. I'd really like to know how far he can really go between 6 total meters. You know?
If he's wearing a Fitbit, and I don't know if he is, but he's probably getting his steps in out here, coaching boys and girls, wearing 2 hats. Is that common in the water polo world for the same coach for guys and girls?
Yeah, it is, because typically the seasons are very different, right? Boys are in the fall, girls are in the winter, and then swimming being in the spring. But, so it's usually not going back-to-back boys' game and then a girls' game in one night.
One night,
so
6 o'clock. Newport Harbor boys dominated CDM 14-5.
Yeah.
Just an absolute drubbing. Great showing for them to come out and win 1-0. Now Ross got to turn things around, put his girls water polo coaching hat on, and come out and coach this girls squad. And both teams, really trying to get over the hump here as programs under head coach Ross Sinclair. Girls lost in the semifinals last year, their best finish in 3 years under Coach Sinclair's tutelage. They lost to Laguna, dominant team last year. Those Breakers, those Lady Breakers were dominant. They went on to win CIF, and then the boys back-to-back trips to CIF finals, losing to Harvard Westlake. So, it's Coach Ross desperately wanting to get ring number 1 here under his regime at Newport Harbor.
Yeah, and it's going to happen. That guy's an incredible coach. I wish I played for him. You know what? I actually did 10 and unders. Coach Ross was my first water polo coach.
Wow, when was that?
Oh, my goodness, 2001, 2002, somewhere.
And here comes CDM after the timeout with the power play. Under 3 minutes to go here in the second. And Sailors lead 5-0. CDM trying to get on the board for the first time today. Grace Myers has it. Now she gets it over to the point position. Grace Myers with a shot tipped ends up in the hands of Anna Reed.
Yeah, that was good. Awesome defense. Executed 5-on-6 defense by Newport Harbor, pushing out the shooters way past the 6-meter line. So making that a pretty long shot for a 6-on-5.
Avery Montiel has it around mid-pool at the 4 spot. Up top, Giolis gets a forearm in her face. And that's got to be an exclusion.
Yeah, nice eye, Alex.
Well, I could see that. My novice water polo brain could see that from over here, Andy.
Oh,
and I'm sure the officials here.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I see the official nearest us actually is wearing glasses, so he's got, he's dialed in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a professional, and actually the officials have been calling great games tonight.
Oh, they have. No, I've had no complaints.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ross has a few, but that's
every head coach does, right? It's always getting calls against
some
you,
have
never
more
for
than
you.
Others.
Yeah. I think they all tell you they're the one with the most, right?
So 2:05 to go here in the second. Harbor leads 5-0, and they will have a 6-on-5 advantage coming out of the timeout. And we're going to look, what I've learned about this game, water polo, Andy, is the difference in the 6-on-5 power play versus, the typical 6-on-6. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm ready to listen, dude. I'm ready to hear it. I think you're going to nail it.
When we go 6-on-5, when we go power play, as we're going to see Harbor do here, we have 2 post players versus the typical 1 post player.
Correct, right?
Why do we do that?
Because there's 5 defensive players. It's just the setup exposes, just like it allows for a better offense. Really, makes the defense everybody cover 2 people at once. So it's easy to draw a defender out of position, leaving another player super open.
All right, Harbor with the power play. Shot over the top of the goal, no good, so a turnover.
So what Coach Ross, I don't know if any of our viewers can see Ross make some hand motions. He's saying that he wanted that shooter to draw that defender right away from the two-post player and then make a pass under the arm to her for a shot off the two-post, but she took the shot instead.
Macedo defended by Guess. Now over to number 3 in the white cap, Morgan Netherton, all up on her.
I just
Looking
love
like
watching good defense.
Patrick Beverly out there on defense.
You're right, Alex.
Inside look as the shot clock expires, and that will count. Lob shot over the top of Anna Reed right as the horn sounded on the shot clock. Frustrating goal there for the Sailors, and CDM on the board for the first time with just under 90 seconds to go here in the second. They lead 5-1.
5-1. I like that, right? Let's try to say a good defensive game. Great defensive game is holding a team to 1 goal per quarter. So let's see if the Sailors are able to accomplish that one this evening.
Sailors get it inside to Avery Montiel at the 5 spot. Now back to the 4. Cross, nice. Cage, pass, and a goal for the Sailors. That was Taylor Smith with the hat trick she had. 3 goals last Battle of the Bay, and she has 3 tonight. Assist from number 9, Paige Nagel. Her first assist of the night, and a really beautiful water polo play there, Andy.
Oh, it really was. It really was. Great drive. Taylor got very open. Paige was able to have everybody think that she was going to be a shooter and then make that pass for a wide-open Cage to Taylor Smith. It was well executed. Great teamwork.
Just over 1 minute to go here in the second. Harbor leads 6-1 with 60 seconds on the clock and a turnover. Sophia Stark comes away with it, and here come the Sailors on the counterattack. Swimming swiftly down the pool here at the Bill Barnett pool deck. Taylor Smith controls the ball. She's got 3 goals on her name tonight, under 20 seconds on the shot clock. Harbor has it at the 2 position. Now Taylor Smith in the 2 cap, feeds it over on the 5. That's Avery Montiel, the lefty. Letting it fly, no good.
Letting it fly. I think they had a little bit more time to do something else. But hey, whatever. Into the shot clock. We're a 5-goal lead. Let him rip. It's been a while since you've taken the shot.
Oh, yeah. Let it fly.
Yeah.
First time in the pool in over a year. I mean, I'm sure they've been in the pool, but not in a CIF-sanctioned competition.
No. Have some fun with it.
5 seconds separating shot clock and game clock here in the second period. 10 seconds on the clock for CDM with the possession. Turnover. Here come the Sailors. 5 seconds on the clock. Can they get a shot off? Lily Guess going to let one fly. Test the rocket launcher to the right of the cage. No good. And at the end of 2, at halftime, Sea Kings with 1 goal. Harbor with 6. Taylor Smith has 3. Morgan Netherton has a pair. And Lily Guess has 1. And that's how the Sailors have 6 goals next to their name. Andy, you and I are going to take a breather, get a glass of water. And when we come back, we'll have second half action from the Battle of the Bay. Newport leads 6-1. You're watching Newport Harbor Girls Water Polo on TarTV. Welcome back into TarTV. Alex Crawford, Andy Hayes with you from the Bill Barnett Memorial Pool Deck, a place, Andy, where you spent a lot of time during your 4 years here at Newport Harbor High School. Countless hours swimming, training, playing polo, probably before that playing club polo, playing youth polo. So you spent a lot of time here, and it's great to have you in the booth with me here calling this Battle of the Bay game. Sailors lead 6-1 here at halftime.
Yeah, Alex, it's an honor. You know, it's an absolute honor to be here with you, a fellow classmate of Newport Harbor, Class 09.
Yeah, go Sailors.
Go Sailors.
Always.
Go Sailors. And, you know, just a person who's so passionate about sports, this community, our alumnus school here. It's really cool to be sitting next to you, sharing my sport with you.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned an exponential amount about the sport of water polo from you here. Earlier tonight, got to call our first boys water polo game. 15-5 or 14-5 was the final. Either way, a lot of points for the Sailors, very little points for the Sea Kings as Harbor moved to 1-0. Now the girls here at halftime, Newport Harbor girls lead 6-1, the Lady Sailors over the Sea Queens in phase 2 of our Battle of the Bay here in our opening game of the season. Man, it feels good to be back on the pool deck.
Oh, it absolutely does. I mean, and back to where the origin story, you know, the genesis of us two in the booth here.
Yes.
The girls' water polo season. So, and, you know, their winter sport, it's still pretty chilly out here. We're still getting those winter vibes. So it's a lot like, you know, just where we left off.
Yeah, sure. Like you pointed out earlier in the broadcast, it's unique right now because Coach Ross Sinclair, head coach of guys and girls water polo, typically guys water polo is a fall sport, girls is winter, but due to COVID, they're overlapping now. So he is wearing 2 hats, coached 1 game earlier. It's very rare that you'll see a head coach do 2 games for 2 different teams in one night. At the high school level or any level, really.
Well, you're absolutely right, Alex. But you will occasionally see it during the club season. There'll be some overlap if if the games aren't too far apart. But I mean, never. This is uncharted territory. Never in the high school water polo levels, at least in California, as far as I'm aware, have ever been in the same season.
Well, and a big shout out to everybody tuning in on TarTV. We appreciate you tuning in, checking out our broadcast here. We're going to be bringing you girls water polo, guys water polo, football, lacrosse, hoops, field hockey, baseball, whatever there is to be played. Wrestling, we'll do it throughout the season. And a big shout out to our broadcast crew, behind-the-scenes production, Sydney Griffin, Brooks Clark, and John Hoist, putting this whole thing together under the vision of Newport Harbor principal Sean Bolton. So just a beautiful symphony orchestra going on. So big thank you to our production crew and our
absolutely.
viewers. It's a big deal.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm still at awe that there's a high school water polo game that is accessible on the internet. I never thought I'd see the day. I'm so happy to be a part of it, and this is super cool. So
you're a big proponent of water polo accessibility, right, Andy?
I sure am. You know, it's a sport that I spend a lot of time with and I love, and I might not make the time to go out to Norco to watch a game on a Saturday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So it would be nice.
Not a lot of people are making a trip out to Norco on a Saturday from Orange County. I'll tell you that much, Andy.
Exactly, kind of proving my point there, Alex. So I think this is awesome. This is going to allow more people to be able to watch like what I think is one of the most interesting, unique sports out there.
Well, just like that, Taylor Smith finds pay dirt for the 4th time this evening from the 1 spot. Shoots and scores 7-1. Sailors lead less than 30 seconds in to the 3rd period.
You love that. I mean, I love watching goals, right? Everybody likes to see that action. But I'm really more looking forward to I like that 1 goal under CDM's name.
You're a defensive-minded guy, and that's why you won 3 championships at USC. Lily Guess, great defense there, and gets it to Anna Reed, the goalkeeper. Olivia Giolis going to push things ahead to the 2 spot. Feeds it inside. Skip shot and a goal. Lily Guest shoots and scores. Rewarded for her defense. She finds pay dirt on the offensive end, and the Sailors have 8 times the Sea Queens score. 8-1 with 6:08 to go here in the 3rd.
You know, I might be a little biased here, Alex, but it's kind of looking like Newport's just running drills right now, using CDM as the
practice dummy.
As the practice defense. Yeah. So
no offense to the Sea Queens, but we are a biased broadcast.
We are. I'm decked out head to toe in Newport gear. We got to get you a Newport blazer. There's got to be one floating around somewhere.
There's got to be one somewhere. I saw a Assistant Principal Pembroke, I believe, with a pretty dope Newport Harbor jacket. I see him over there on the far end of the pool deck, not in the reach of our cameras, but.
Oh, yeah, the thing's pretty retro.
Sailors defense swarms. You know, a lot of times, Andy, as Morgan Netherton with the takeaway there for Newport Harbor, a lot of times I'll talk about the bamboo defense. Bend but don't break. But the Sailors tonight they're not even bending.
No.
They have fashioned the bamboo into a bow staff and are beating CDM mercilessly with it. 8-1 they lead. Harbor on the attack, feeding it to the 4 spot. A shot, bar out. Good stop by the CDM goalkeeper.
That was a good look. That was a good look by Newport.
Well,
Who was that?
It was Taylor Smith. Who
oh,
else?
Of
Who
course.
else, Andy?
She's got a good eye.
Absolutely. 4 goals for her, besting her shots. Oh,
Ooh.
A skip shot and in. Kate Rodman.
So my old coach in the collegiate level loved that shot. You come up big, goalie comes up, and you shoot it cross cage low, not a big high skip because the goalie's anticipating that up top, which looked like Anna Reed was. And whatever CDM athlete was able to put that away, just placed the ball right where it needed to be for Anna Reed's reaction.
Kate Rodman on the goal for CDM.
Nice job, Kate.
Greenwald with 1, and Kate Rodman with 1 for CDM. 8-2 with 5 minutes to go here in the third.
So Katie Greenwald was actually on my 12 and under group that when I coached over at CDM and girls. She just informed me she's going to be going to Harvard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good
brother.
For her.
I was telling her brother went to Johns Hopkins, and I said, made a little joke, like, do you rub that into your brother's face?
Taylor Smith shoots and scores. She's unconscious out here at the Bill Barnett pool deck. 5 goals for Taylor Smith. 9-2 Harbor leads. 4:47 to go here in the third. My goodness. Taylor Smith scoring. So prolific. We talked about her last year, one of the key players on this Harbor team. She had a great game in the CIF semifinal. She had 3 goals in the last Battle of the Bay last February, and she's dominating here again tonight.
Yeah, she came to play. This is fun to watch. All these girls, they all know each other. They grew up playing with each other. They did junior guards together, so it's fun to see them battle together. Leaving the friendship on the pool deck.
Well, there's no friendship in the water, right? I mean, that's
no,
the friendship's on the deck, but in the water, no holds barred. As Grace Myers feeds it over to Kat Snyder, defended tightly by Paige Nagel. Now we'll see a shot, and it goes just to the left of Reed. A beautiful laser from McKenna Macedo. So CDM now finding a little offensive prowess here in the third. 9-3 your score, still in favor of the Sailors, but CDM coming to life here in the third with 2 goals. 4:19 to go in the third. Sailors on the counterattack.
You know, I just hope our girls realize they allowed.
Oh! Spin around shot, no good, but I do love that shot. What do they call that? The backhand?
Backhand.
That's a beautiful shot, Andy.
Oh, it is. It's a fun one. I remember my first backhand shot. I don't know if I'm happy or embarrassed to say that, but here we go.
I think that's cool because I've still never had a backhand shot. Inside to the 2-meter player, Harbor swarms, Taylor Smith and Lily Guess with the double team and the turnover. Goalkeeper Anna Reed comes up with it. Man, I would not want to be at the 2-meter position with Taylor Smith and Lily Guess collapsing on me like that. I would drown. I would need a lifeguard like yourself to come save me.
I'd be happy to jump in at a moment's notice for you, Alex. But I have a little bit more faith in your aquatic abilities than I think you do. But I haven't seen you in the water.
No, well, let's get in the pool, Andy. Ahead here to the 2 is Kate Rodman. Now over to Macedo. Shot, bar out. On the far side of the post, cage is rattled, and Anna Reed comes up with it. So CDM turning up the offensive intensity here in the third. Still trail by 6. 3 minutes to go. Harbor up 9-3. Smith now inside. Netherton. Pump fake shot. Bar down and in.
Wow, beautiful. Right over the goalie's head. Hit that top bar down for a bar down goal. Gosh, we live for those. Those are fun. I didn't have too many in my career.
That's the hat trick for Netherton, her 3rd goal of the night, and Sailors lead 10-3 with 2:55 to go as Taylor Smith and Avery Montiel check in. Olivia Giolis and Alex Love, or excuse me, Smith and Montiel check out. Giolis and Love check in for the Sailors. So some substitutions here. Sailors up by 7. CDM trying to get it down to the 2 spot. They get it to the 1. Now back up to the point.
All right, ordinary foul on who, Page?
Now to the 5, now down to the 4. CDM, nice ball movement on this possession. Shot goes on the near side post right into the hands of Anna Reed.
Yeah, so Coach Ross is, these officials are letting a little bit more play happen, if you will, in the transition versus our boys game earlier. I think he's gotten a little accustomed to how they were calling those ejections in the transition. So that's what he's tripping at. But we got one. He got what he wished for. So let's see if we can capitalize.
So Ross Sinclair, Newport Harbor's head coach, takes a timeout. Sailors lead by 7, 10-3. And coming out of the timeout, we're going to have a power play, a 6-on-5 opportunity for these Sailors.
Okay, so the shot clock's at 29 seconds, right? So this whole play with a man advantage is for 20 seconds. So at 10 seconds, the CDM player will come even. So keep your eye on the shot clock.
Taylor Smith, pump fake, shot and good. Oh, Taylor Smith is unconscious. Her 6th of the night. 11-3, Newport Harbor leads 2:11 to go in the 3rd. And of those 11 goals for the Sailors, 6 coming on the arm or the hand, the prowess of Taylor Smith.
Right on. It's nice to have an offensive player like that. It's always nice for the 5 other teammates. But again, Taylor Smith's making a lot happen, but there's 5 other people, 6 including the goalie, that are contributing to the whole team's success right now.
So 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd. Rivalry game, Battle of the Bay. Also first game of the season for both these teams. 0-0 on the year. Newport Harbor boys won earlier. Dominant over CDM, 14-5. Speaking of 5, McKenna Macedo had it at the 5 spot. Errant pass, gonna be intercepted. Fighting for it, Avery Montiel earned that one.
All right. Could have used a little bit more, a little more mustard on that pass.
Well, Montiel, I think, used all her energy swimming, getting that turnover, and pass falls a little short, so it's turnover back to the Sea Queens. Nicole Fagella right around mid-pool. Great defense and great job by Taylor Smith to pop out of the pool and earn the foul, the turnover. Here come the Sailors. Feet ahead to Alex Love on the 5-6 side, the near side of the pool. Love will have it into the 2-meter player. A shot and a goal. Lily Guess. All of that started by Taylor Smith on defense. Two-way player, as they might say in basketball. And Lily Guess with the hat trick now. 12-3 your score. 67 seconds to go in the 3rd.
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny. I mean, we had a young team last season, right? That's why we're hearing the same names over and over. I mean, these are all stellar athletes and really good water polo players, but wasn't that a point of emphasis last season that the girls' team was pretty young?
Yeah, that was a point of emphasis. Really, the 2 main players missing from last year's squad, Ashley Salem and Emily Cantu, but the rest of the team pretty much intact. And so that's why it is particularly frustrating that we're not going to get CIF necessarily the way that we wanted to get it, but bar out. High shot there. Reed didn't have to work too hard for that one. The bar kept that one. Final minute of the 1st. And Sailors are up by 9. CDM has it at the 6th spot. Cross, pool, pass. Get it to Grace Myers. She thinks about a shot too high. Misses it. Final 30 seconds of the quarter. Here come the Sailors. Back to your point, though, Andy. Young team. Team trying to get over the hump, win CIF. And it's been a long time since they played. They're obviously going to have a shortened season. They're making the most of it with a lot of offensive firepower tonight. On the power play, down to the 1 spot, shot and a goal.
That was good. I mean, that's a tough. If you can make that pass, that 6-1 pass, it's a tough one for the goalie to cover. So I mean, that was good. Great ball movement. That was a point of something that I noticed earlier. Is that just like Ross makes a point for everybody to understand how important the pass is. So if you watch these girls, you'll see that every ball placement is pretty deliberate. So
CDM on attack, final 5 seconds of the quarter. Going to try to get a pass off, but the defense of Morgan, Netherton is swarming. They do get a nice shot, bar out, no good. And that does it for the third quarter. Harbor up by 10, 13-3, your score here. Got to give credit to that last goal coming from Paige Nagel, assist from Isabel Del Villar. Sailors lead 13-3 at the end of 3. Looks like they will cruise to a Battle of the Bay victory, but we still have 1 period of polo left to play. When we come back, fourth quarter action. You're watching Newport Harbor Girls Water Polo on TarTV. Welcome back into Newport Harbor Girls Water Polo. Alex Crawford, Andy Hayes with you here live from the pool deck. This will be our 8th quarter of water polo tonight. Andy, we had 4 quarters of an excellent boys showing, dominating Corona Del Mar. And now, a similar story here as the Sea Queens trail by 10. Harbor all over them, 13-3, your score here. Let me ask you something, Andy. Were you ever on the wrong side of a blowout like this?
You know,
in your water polo career, were you ever down 10 going into the 4th? And if so, what are you playing for? What are you doing? Just playing for pride, trying to make coach happy, trying to run plays? What's the strategy?
You know, I don't know. I bet you somewhere along the lines I have. Definitely not in recent times. A 10-goal blowout. Been down a bit as a coach. At this point, if I was CDM, I would just say let's no more ejections. Let's force them a natural goal if they're going to get one. Let's get it to the righty at 5, right? If you played water polo, those are like the basics. Let's get one more goal and hold Newport to no goals. I mean, focus on the defense because clearly defense is lacking with CDM at the moment.
7 seconds on the shot clock. Bar out after the shot by Avery Montiel, the lefty. Connected nicely, and Harbor will retain possession up by 10. Fourth quarter here, just 30 seconds into the 4th. Montiel has it at the 5 spot, feeds it inside to the 2-meter player. And a foul, an exclusion. Power play for Harbor. Montiel back inside. Taylor Smith, fight for the ball. And CDM comes up with it. I wanted to see Taylor Smith get her 7th of the night. Lucky number 7 for her. But
so what happened there, Alex, when somebody draws an ejection, if they're usually in front of the goal, that player has to swim out, leaving the person who drew the ejection open. So that's exactly what they were going for. That was a quick pass to Taylor. But, you know.
That's why Taylor threw it to Montiel, back to her real quick. She's open. Boom.
Correct.
And an offensive turnover committed by Corona Del Mar. Katie Greenwald, the Harvard-bound senior for the Sea Queens, turns it over. And here comes Newport Harbor, up by 10 with 5:30 to go in the game.
Little miscommunication on Newport's part right there.
Too many girls in the same area. And it's a turnover. CDM comes up with it. Uncharacteristic mistake for the Newport Harbor offense. Katie Greenwald, after turning it over on the offensive end, comes up with a steal on the defensive end. And here comes Grace Myers for the Sea-Queens, feeding it ahead to Greenwald. Gonna pass it down low to the one spot. A shot saved by Reed. Point blank range. Anna Reed with the save, and here come the Sailors on the counterattack. Andy, they've drawn exclusions here many times tonight on the counterattack. Let's see what happens.
Actually, Alex, we have had a personnel change in the goalkeeper position. It's actually Maddie Swart right now.
Oh, wow.
And we can delineate her from her 1A cap. Finally, we have a cap that's different from goalie to goalie.
Well, we saw 3 different goalkeepers in the boys' game, and they all had the same cap, so that was a little bit of work for us here as the shot clock down to 4. Harbor will get an exclusion, a 6-on-5, and a reset of the shot clock. Up top with it is Hansberger. Now down to the 4 spot, back to the 5. Taylor Smith has it. Will she get her 7th goal? Working it around are the Sailors. Patient. A shot, and it is saved by Annabelle Sherman.
That was good defense by CDM. I mean, it pains me to say that, but you gotta honor good play.
You gotta
right?
give credit where credit is due.
Okay.
But really, for silver linings for the Sailors, you do have to like that ball movement. I know Coach Ross Sinclair likes that ball movement.
Yes, he does. And that's just such a great way to get the defense out of position, to give yourself a good opportunity for a shot on goal.
Giolis smothering Britt. And now Myers has it at the point position. And an exclusion. CDM, 6-on-5. Coach Ross Sinclair can't believe it. And CDM trying to take advantage of the power play here. Macedo has it. Now down at the back and forth from the 4 and the 5 spots.
I'm so baffled. I would have to see a replay of that. What caused that exclusion?
Shot! And Swart can't get there. Katie Greenwald nets her 2nd of the night. The Harvard-bound senior cuts into Harbor's lead from 10 to 9. It dwindles, and the Sailors lead 13-4 with 3:30 to go in the game.
I guess CDM's coming alive. CDM's finding some weaknesses in Newport right now and exploiting them. So hopefully we can adjust and limit the goals to 1 per quarter.
1 per quarter, the average right now, just 4 goals for CDM. Inside, shot, no good. Sophia Stark let that one fly. And Grace Myers able to get a finger on it, prevent the goal for the Sailors. 3 minutes to go in the game. Harbor up by 9. Here come the Sea-Queens on attack.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, good, right? So that's what that player was doing, was denying that pass.
Oh, steal by CDM.
Oh.
2-on-1 opportunity, a shot, and a goal. Greenwald again, back-to-back goals for her, back-to-back goals for the Sea-Queens. That's a hat trick for Greenwald, and Harbor's lead is now just 8. I shouldn't say just 8. 8 is quite significant with 2:51 to go in the game. But 13-5, your score here from the pool deck.
Yeah, that was, in water polo, a lot of things can happen in a very short amount of time. So I didn't really catch what happened, but it seemed it was in CDM's favor.
Alex Love at the 5 spot, trying to feed it down to the 2-meter player. Back to Love, skip shot. Quite a lot of English on that one, no good. But I did like the amount of spin and torque we saw on that one from Alex Love.
Yeah, that. What would you call that? Curveball, slider, sinker? Oh my gosh, that thing had so much spin on it.
I think that was a slider.
Okay.
If we were over at the baseball diamond here.
I try to use baseball references for my dad, but I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Well, I do appreciate Mr. Laird Hayes tuning into our broadcast on TarTV. A big thank you to all of our viewers as Alex Love has it at the 5 spot.
Yeah, I got caught up in what Coach Ross was trying to say.
What was he saying?
He was saying look for the drive, but I didn't see a drive happen. So
Netherton has it now at the 2-meter player. Spin around, quick shot, no good. Sophia Stark giving that one a nice look. Good save for CDM. Final 2 minutes of the game. Harbor leads 13-5.
Dang, it was Annabelle Sherman. She just took that one straight to the nose and didn't even flinch. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't be able to do that. I would.
Oh yeah.
Way to go. That's what makes a good goalie. Fearless.
Good look by Greenwald. She scores again off the wrist of Maddie Swart. And Greenwald with 3 goals in this quarter, 4 for the game. And CDM finding some offensive firepower here in the 4th quarter. 13-6. Harbor leads with just over 90 seconds to go. But nice showing by the senior Katie Greenwald here in the fourth.
Yeah. What was Newport's score when we started the fourth quarter?
I believe it was 13.
Okay, so there you go.
Well, you didn't let me say the CDM score.
Yeah.
I mean, Harbor at 13.
Harbor at 13, but so for this quarter, CDM has been winning.
Yes, CDM is, I believe, scored 3 goals in this quarter. I believe it was 13-3.
Okay, so that's definitely something that Coach Ross is going to be discussing later. If not, that's a big deal. You can't lose the fourth quarter.
The lefty, Montiel, pump fake, thinking about a shot, tries to leak it in. She does. In the near side post, Avery Montiel sneaks that one past the goalkeeper and gets in for her first goal of the night. She had 3 last Battle of the Bay.
Oh, really?
So I'm sure she's got to feel good. She's used to scoring against CDM, so nice for her to find the goal here with just over a minute to go. Harbor's lead grows 14-6.
That's a good shot. That's a tough one, sneaking that ball in the near side.
That near side, yeah. I mean, not a lot of room to work with there for Avery Montiel. Somewhat of a sniper-like shot by her.
Oh, yeah, surgical.
Katie Greenwald been prolific this quarter, trying to get her fourth goal of the quarter. She had 3 this time.
So Coach Ross was trying to get a timeout before that ball went out of bounds, unable to get it in there. So a new shot clock for CDM.
New shot clock for CDM. 40 seconds in the game, 25 on the shot clock for the Sea Queens. And who else but Taylor Smith to come in on defense and pick that off like an NFL defensive back, now swimming the other way on the counterattack for the Sailors. Final 30 seconds of the game. Let's see if they can add to their 8-point lead. Single digits on the shot clock. They try to get it into Giolis. No. And shot clock is off. We'll have our final possession of the game for the Sea Queens, down by 8.
Just got to make it out here. 9 seconds, no goals.
Taylor Smith again. Right place, right time. A foul against CDM. Taylor Smith will cross mid-pool, fire one off, and that does it. Fitting for Taylor Smith to come away with 2 steals at the end of the game and have the ball in her possession at the end of the game, because she found pay dirt for Newport Harbor not once, not twice, not thrice, not 4 times, not 5 times, 6 times, Andy. 6 times Taylor Smith found the goal for the Newport Harbor Sailors. What a performance, doubling up her goal total from the last Battle of the Bay. She certainly got to be our player of the game, and she's a major contributor to that dominating performance. 14-6, your final. Lady Sailors beat the Sea Queens, move to 1-0 on the season, and continue their dominant Battle of the Bay performance. Didn't lose to CDM last year, and they certainly haven't lost to them yet this season.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a good day to be a Sailor. I say that a little too often, but I mean, really, today's a good day to be a Sailor.
Every day is a good day to be a Sailor, Andy.
Yeah, but something's just a little bit special about today. Beating the Sea Kings and the Sea Queens all in a 24-hour span. I mean,
yeah,
we haven't done that before. I don't think, not on the high school level at least.
Well, any day that you can get a victory over CDM at the varsity level is a really great day to be a Sailor.
Yeah.
But any day you can get 2 wins over CDM at the varsity level, oh my goodness, what a treat! And as a Sailor broadcaster, we got to call not just 2 Sailor victories over CDM, but 28 total goals scored by the varsity boys and girls. Was there defense in the pool tonight from CDM? I didn't see any, Andy.
No, but I would say that last fourth quarter of the girls' game, we did lose the fourth quarter. CDM outplayed us, outscored us, I think 3-0, you said.
And big shout out to the Sea Queens number 4, Harvard-bound senior Katie Greenwald, who had 3 goals in the fourth, 4 goals total in the game. So great showing by her.
Yeah, and I mean, Katie's a great person. I've known her for a while, and it's cool as I coach her, and it's cool to see her be successful in a rivalry game. Obviously, I mean, that's the best of both worlds for me. Sailors won, and Katie Greenwald had a good game.
So 14-6, your final, and just to set the scene of how we got there, 6 goals from Taylor Smith, 3 from Morgan Netherton, 1 from Avery Montiel, 1 from Paige Nagel, and 3 from Lily Guest. So prolifically offensively, a lot of offense today.
A lot of offense, right? It's a mouthful.
A mouthful I'm not used to calling. 14 goals for the girls, 14 goals for the guys. Usually we'll see 6 or 7 for each squad. So great showing. Andy, the last time we got to call a Newport Harbor water polo game, girls water polo, was over a year ago. 2/19/2020, and here we are on 3/4/2021, back-to-back games. Both teams, the boys and the girls, move to 1-0 on the season. Not only do they open their season with a win, not only are we blessed to have water polo back in the pool here at the Bill Barnett Pool Deck, but we got to beat our rival twice in the same night. So, as you said, it's a great day to be a Sailor and a great day to watch 28 combined goals from the guys and the girls teams here tonight.
Yeah, beautiful. And then also, how many goals against? That's my favorite part. We outscored
11 total goals against.
That's beautiful.
5 against the boys and 6 against the girls.
Yeah, I can live with that. That's good defense, and defense wins. So, as we see.
We know Coach Ross likes that. We're going to go maybe grab a bite of food with him, celebrate these victories. And I'll see you back on the pool deck next week. For all our TarTV viewers, we'll be back next week. We'll have Monday night water polo here from the pool deck. Let me check my polo schedule and see who we're playing. Harvard Westlake.
Oh,
man,
exciting.
That's a big one for the boys. Girls
Yes.
at 4, boys at 6. Boys, back-to-back trips to CIF Finals, lost to Harvard Westlake. So be sure to tune in for that game, 4 o'clock on TarTV. We'll be back then. And we got boys football scrimmage Saturday. Radio only, no video broadcast. Go to tarradio.com for that. We'll have that against Villa Park. So, Andy, great to be back on the pool deck with you. I'll see you on Monday here.
Yes, you will, Alex. Absolutely.
Well, big shout-out to Principal Sean Bolton for making this happen. Big shout-out to our production crew, John Hoist, Sydney Griffin, and Brooks Clark here for TarTV, putting this whole thing together behind the scenes and letting you sit from the comfort of your own home or wherever you might have been watching and be able to enjoy this game. Annie, any final thoughts?
Happy to be back, Alex.
Happy to be back. Go Sailors. For our production crew, for all of our Newport Harbor Sailors faithful, this is Alex Crawford saying, from the pool deck to Davidson Field, from the bell tower to anywhere on this Newport Harbor High School campus, to anywhere you might have been watching tonight, thank you for watching Newport Harbor Sailors 14, CDM 6. You've been watching Newport Harbor Sailors Water Polo on TarTV.